From the basement of Geek Public Network and the bowels of the internet, it's Friday night. You know what that means? It's the Mancave. And your hosts, Pat, Bill, and Hump. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Hello. I'm Bill.
This is the Mancave.
I'm a tourist. I like long walks on the beach.
Oh,
Pina coladas.
floaters. Float on. Haven't you ever
Huh?
heard that? We'll have to have Topher look that up.
What?
Like the floaters. Float on.
The floaters
Float on. They go through.
I'm afraid.
It's not like 1960s music, but the beginning of it, they're like, for me, it'd be like Aquarius, and my name is Pat, and I want a woman that blah blah blah, and they all do it. The whole band does it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Hi, my name's Bill.
Hi, Bill.
alcoholic.
Oh, sorry.
I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, it's not Wednesdays. But
No, it's Friday. Thank God.
yeah. And, I've been.
Gay.
I really can't. No, I really
prodded.
can't say I've been busy.
Molested? Have you been molested?
A couple times.
Me too. Oh wait,
But
wrong movement.
well, probably molested by the same guy.
I molester myself.
Every
I
day.
don't want to, but I enjoy it.
I need to take a movement.
Every day. But no,
I need to take a movement.
no, just I'm like everybody else. I got all this stuff I need to get done, and it's like, okay, it rained for like 2 days straight,
It's gonna rain tonight.
right? It's like, well, I don't really feel like being under the hood of my truck, in the pouring rain, if I don't have to.
They're predicting snow for next Saturday.
Oh yeah.
518-555. No, thank you. They heard me on the radio. He's on the radio.
Right.
Get him.
I mean,
Sorry, I don't know anybody in the United States.
yeah. Sometimes I answer those just to F with them.
I told you what I did to the last telemarketer, didn't I?
No.
I answered my phone. I said, Geek Public Radio. You're on the air. Click. Now it's San Bernardino.
Nice.
They must be asking
Kingston,
about the fires.
Barstow, San Bernardino. That's Route 66.
Listen to that rain. Woo! Hear it coming down? Oh, it stopped.
Travel my way. It's the highway. That's the best.
But
Get your kicks. Huh?
the funny thing about it is, I brought some history. We found it the other day. We're cleaning the house, making room to build a new room for the baby.
Yeah.
And I found some history that I think both of you will really enjoy, and for the few people that are listening will love.
That don't work.
So anybody that hung out
Hey,
with
did you
me,
see?
anybody, yeah,
I finally brought Pat his present.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had a coupon at the Harbor Freight.
It's a Cuban.
it's a coupon.
Coupon.
Not a
Yeah.
Cuban, a coupon.
Yeah. It's one of those float chargers.
Floater.
Yeah,
Did you find it?
I was running late because I was
Yeah.
arranging some work for Pat tomorrow.
You're doing work for me.
No, getting work for you to do.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to take it apart a dog kennel for your daughter.
Oh, God.
Oh man.
Okay, so anyway, I
He's like, thanks for that.
Well, they asked if anybody wanted it, they could have it. And Kylie just happened to be at my house, and I was like, Kylie, she's like, what? And I said, big dog kennel? She said, yeah. I said, you want it? Yeah. Okay, it's yours.
Libby wants one too.
It's outdoor.
The
Nice.
bear is not fitting in hers.
She said,
Yeah,
she said she didn't want that one. She just,
Nah, we got one out back. But anyway, the guys that hung out with me 92, 93, 94, they'll know
Oh,
exactly
Jesus.
what this is, and Brian already knows. So,
Holy crap. Oh dang.
back in the mid to late 90s,
your
I had a
forehead.
metal,
You know,
what do you call that? It's
Clipboard,
a clipboard. It's got the
folder.
trifold clipboard.
yeah.
But we used to say stupid shit all the time.
Rats Float.
And we
Dead Rats Float.
Dead Rats Float.
God, I forgot that.
But
who wants to live forever?
we
Ain't nothing hurt.
I took a time and wrote it all down in permanent marker. So yeah, that's been around. That shit's been on there since '94, I think.
Oh Jesus.
But I mean, it's got sayings on it like "It sucks
from
to be
my-
you, love is for poets, life sucks, so eat shit and die." That one you'll like.
Don't
This one,
make me
Bill.
get media on your ass.
Me got one lodged. It come from me booty.
I got one lodged. It came from me booty.
But
that was one of mine.
Clay's favorite saying is on there. It's on the back.
Time to bleed.
I think it's on the back.
Aphrodidiment?
What the hell's an aphrodidiment?
Yeah, I'm looking
Don't
at
make
it right
me
now.
embarrass you. Shiver me timbers.
Don't make me embarrass you.
Oh.
I think I'm going to throw you off the porch backwards.
You goat loving, urine swigging asshole.
You goat loving, urine swigging asshole. Yeah, that's.
Oh my god, dude, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's got. Let's see, piss on your forehead. Oh yeah, piss on your forehead.
Piss on your forehead.
I'm tall enough to do it.
You can tell we were into Steven Seagal because it's like death waits for no one. Awaiting death is worse than death itself.
Well, you got the Jesse Ventura. Ain't got time to bleed.
Ain't got time to bleed. Pain doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Okay.
What was that? That was a Police Academy movie. That didn't hurt. That hurt. I think it was a Police Academy.
Probably.
Yeah, we're
Bobcat Goldways.
he's falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
Whatever. That didn't hurt. That didn't. He hits
But-
the bottom. She steps on his hand. Don't move, dirtbag. That hurt.
This inside one's all Brian sayings. Don't make me get medieval on your ass. What the hell is an aphrodidiment? He made me write that down. Don't make me embarrass you. Don't make me embarrass Clay. Don't make me embarrass you.
I do not have sex with dead people. No, are you ambidextrous?
Clay, are you ambidextrous? I do not have sex with dead people. Wait,
That was in
what?
a Pizza Hut.
That was in Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Right after the. What the hell is an aphrodidiment?
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you slow down aphrodidiment, it was after dinner mint. Bill kept asking everybody. There was like, what,
After dinner?
15
After
of us?
dinner?
Yeah.
And he kept asking everybody because we were done eating, and we're sitting at this
Oh yeah,
long
because
table.
they had
saying
like
it
the little
fast.
like.
And Bill's like, aphrodidiment, aphrodidiment, aphrodidiment. And Clay finally goes, what the fuck is an aphrodidiment? And everybody just stops.
Well,
And then,
An aphrodidiment.
remember, what was it, mid to late 90s? It was, whatever.
I should get like one of those little tins of mints
And send him to Clay.
and send them to Clay.
Just type
Hey,
in
found you some
aphrodidiment.
Aphrodidiments.
Right? Get on the computer and like print off a label. Bill's aphrodidiments.
But Bill's story of, this was Brent, wasn't it? It says, me got one lodge to come from me booty.
Yeah, that was.
That was at college, right?
Yeah. I was coming back from class, and I pulled up to the house, and for some reason, well, no particular reason, it was college,
There has to be no reason.
Yeah, you shit in a
Right.
pizza box and put it in the fridge, Hey, there's pizza in the fridge, guys! Sweet! Blech.
No, I come pulling up, and I guess Brent saw me pull up, and he like flung the window open.
You don't see that, huh? You don't see that?
You want to see that, bud? He
was
flung
reading
the
the printed
window
instructions.
open, and he like
So this is how you keep on track.
well, that's how he keeps
he's-
on track.
he stuck his head out of the like
upstairs
the window, and he had like we had a coat hanger that was bent up, so if one was too big, it wouldn't flush. You could
Do
dice it up.
Do the little Jimmy thing. Come on, get down there, come on!
or cut it up into pieces with it, right? And he had like the plunger in one hand and that thing like a sword in the other. He's like, "Arr, I got one lodged. It came from me booty," and I just died. It's just like one of those things that you're just not
Prepared
expecting.
for?
Yeah. It's like, okay, man. But that's where that's where that one came from.
I think we need to add the, I'm going to knock you off the porch backwards. As soon as I can
That was a
remember how to
good one.
spell backwards.
Backwards.
Yeah, that was a-
Backerds.
DS,
That's how Stephanie
backwards.
spelled it anyway. Because on the happy birthday thing she sent me she said something about the porch backwards. Now here's one. My wife.
Or I lolly
She,
Lee.
she gets a text message. I think it was yesterday from another person and says, "Your husband's an asshole." So what's
Tell
my
us
wife
something
do?
we don't know.
She doesn't even try to stick up for me. Her first question is, "What do you do now?"
That's what Libby does. Is what did he do now? What kind of damage control do I have to complete
Well, I
now?
guess
And you're just telling me now?
somebody's dog was getting jealous or something, so the dog jumped up on the bed and peed on her pillow. in her side of the bed.
Shit.
And she was told, well, it's because you're not paying attention to the dog. And I'm just sort of in the truck when the conversation's going on. And I told him, I said, hell, tell her to play Red Rocket with him. He'll fall in love with her. So this being her, she had to look that up on the internet, Google it to figure out what that was.
No. And for anybody that's listening that doesn't know what it is, don't look it up.
Yeah, it's like one of those classic things you just don't look up on the internet.
Because from the God as my witness, Google will keep reminding you that you looked it up.
It'll be on your Facebook and everything next.
Well, since you looked for this, you'll like this. No! Gee, no!
Does that still pop up on yours?
No, I finally got all that stuff the whole way.
like the big brass knockers.
Or was it wobbly sausage?
It was both. It was
We think these
brass
two would go
cock
good
knocker.
together.
You look for this, so here, we'll suggest this.
Yeah.
What the- no.
Suggestions for brass cock knockers and
Wobbly sausage.
dildo swords.
Wobbly sausage.
I wonder if you can get wobbly sausage at Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.?
Now, you see, you said it again. We're starting off good right now. We're starting off good. Carl's Jr. Oh, see, there's twice.
If we say it enough, he can pay for one.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Wonder if we'll see any tomorrow.
What's that?
You might.
Carl's Jr.?
No, he's going to the Comic-Con with Brittany.
Yeah, we're riding with him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, fuck you both. Because I'm a broke hoe and don't have anybody to go with.
We for us it was just kind of like Brian was like, "Hey, you going?" We're like, "Oh well, let me look up tickets and whatnot."
It's like $30 a day, isn't it?
40 for Saturday.
40 Saturday, yeah. So it's like, okay, well, $40. So,
You taking the wife?
yeah, she's going and Shelby and
Shelby's gonna be an overload.
probably. And they're all like, what shirt are we going to wear? Am I going to wear my Transformers one or my Iron Man one? I'm
See,
like,
now it was cool yesterday. I didn't have to work.
yeah.
So me and Brittany sat there and started watching season 5 of Voltron on Netflix.
There you go.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
we'd watched all 4 seasons before, and this, I guess, just come out not too long ago. So me and her sat there and watched that.
That's like the
Reboot.
Reboot.
Yeah, it's the new
Nice.
version,
Is
yeah.
it any
But
good?
It's okay.
It's pretty close to the original. Not quite as many monsters. You know, the original, they fought a monster at the end of every episode.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Voltron could, go together.
The road
Yeah.
beast or whatever they call them.
Yeah, but there's not so many of those. But I don't think they went too crazy with it.
I still have like in the original box a Coffin of Doom.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what sent him to the planet.
Yeah. I was just like, I was going through my stuff and I'm like, oh my god, it's in the original box. It's a Coffin of Doom. Like my wife was like, what?
I just remember the main creepy guy was always yelling at the little doopy guy. He's like, "We'll just send another monster here. We'll make this one."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It was a good show, and
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just-
the main characters act like they used to, and you still got the little short thing that ends
Pidge.
up being a girl Pidge, and
oh no,
The princess
the
and-
princess, yeah.
the princess is
Yeah.
still in it and stuff. But yeah, it's all the same.
now for the
Same characters
Nice.
follow along the same
the people
lines.
that realize that
Was
watch
it like
Voltron,
Hank, Pidge,
yeah, it was
or is it
Tank.
Chunk?
Tank.
Tank.
There you go.
Because Tank, for people that watched Robotech back when it was new, is Lunk. It's the same character.
Oh yeah,
It's the same face. It's the same movements. It's period.
I didn't realize Robotech was on the on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
is it? now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
yeah, it's on there.
It
wow.
popped up
Books
on
at
my
one
thing.
time.
I'll have to
I can't
watch
find
that.
them.
I was gonna say, yeah, you bought a bunch of them, and I was buying them when I could find them. A lot of it had to be like used bookstores.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I still have like one of the DVD series. I think.
I've got
I think though
Two.
I lost. I think I lost like the first couple that I had because I had all of them. I think we all had. I think you and I both had like the complete series at one time.
yeah. I need the last one. The last what is it 32 to 60 or something like that? Episodes 32
Yeah.
to 60.
I think mine walked off in the divorce because, like my
Amazing how
in-laws.
things
She
grow
knew you
legs.
liked it.
Huh?
Amazing how things grow legs.
No, it's just like my in-laws probably looked at it and said, "Oh, it's a cartoon, so it must be my stepson's." It's like, well,
Nope,
that's not really
mine.
a kid's cartoon. That's
Well, it
yeah,
was.
an adult cartoon.
You can watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Well,
you may
that's how
not now since they got guns and stuff.
I don't know if they went that far with it.
They might.
That's how I watched all of Initial D.
Initial D.
Yeah, it's Cars. It's anime, but the guy has a
I don't know if you type in
Toyota Turismo or whatever.
Turismo or
Torino.
What is it again?
They called it the Corolla.
Okay.
But
Here's
when the
stupid
Corolla-
facts about Toyota. Did you know that they made a V12 in a car in Japan?
really the limos?
No.
Really?
You could actually, it was like a normal sedan that probably a little bit bigger, but I never knew Toyota made a V12.
I didn't either.
YouTube crazy leads you to other stuff thing.
Yeah.
If you like this, you'll like this.
Initial D. And it's basically like a cartoon about the drift racers in Japan.
Okay. Now, when I was working the prison second shift, I'd come home at night, and I think it was something Gundam. Which is
Yeah.
basically
Mobile
like
Suit Gundam?
Well,
Yeah.
that or the Guyver.
No, it was the Gundam thing, but
Okay.
type that in. There's like 40 different ones you can
Oh,
find.
yeah, Gundam. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still popular.
And then I watched the one which like the
1998.
the
They had an adaptation added in 2005.
the one was like he was dressed all in red, and he had the gun.
That's my wife.
I can never remember it, but he had like crazy blonde hair, wore like a red trench coat.
Try again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched
I
that one.
remember that one, yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I enjoyed
That and
watching
Cowboy
that.
Bebop.
Yeah,
Yep,
I like
that was
Cowboy
good, too.
Bebop. Actually, I just rewatched Cowboy Bebop the movie
Oh, yeah?
just the other day. I watched it and Akira.
Now, there's one of them. It's the Death Book or something like that. They actually took
Death
it on
Note.
Death Note. Yeah, they turned that into live action on Netflix, ain't it?
A lot of what's funny is a lot of people who like Death Note, the anime or the comic book books, were all like, "Oh, I can't believe it did whatever," but the actual creators were like, "Oh no, that's way cool! Like we can't that's awesome," you know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I always side with the creators of the thing when they say, "Yeah, oh, we love it," then awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if the person that come up with it, it's like Stephen King hated some of his movies they made.
Mhm.
That's why he took more of a control later on. And
well, I would just kind of like
Cussler says
Joe-
there's going to be none because he hasn't liked a single one. No more movies.
really,
Yeah, no more Dirk movies or any of them because they've never got one right. So Clive Cussler said nothing. No more. No
it's
more
over.
movies.
well, you can't blame him. Hell, he's got his money. But yeah, if you
Yeah.
got a creation and somebody says, "Well, hey, we're going to make a movie," okay, great.
Sahara to me wasn't bad, but he hated it.
Yeah.
So I was
Well,
like,
I can sort of see it if you drift so far off that it's almost unrecognizable.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's just like when who was it? Like Joe Cocker did with a little help from my friends.
Yeah,
yeah,
You know, even the Beatles were like, "Hey,
That's
a
better
really
than-
good
good
remake."
version of it. Yeah,
they
you
even
know.
said it. Well, that's kind of better than ours.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'm all for, like you said, if the original artists or whatever are like, oh yeah, you know, I mean, because kind of like look at Weird Al, you know.
yeah. He gets
But some people are like, oh man, I can't believe you did that, blah blah blah.
permission.
Yeah. But it was like.
Technically, he doesn't have to because parody falls under.
Yeah, but that's
Open usage or whatever.
Fair use.
Fair use.
yeah, that's how all the.
That's
found
how
out the
Coolio got
stupid
all
tweets.
pissed off.
Most of the time, the stupid tweets you see from Maxine Water.
Mhm.
If you look at it, it's Maxine Water or something or another, and it's basically or PR. I can't remember. There's just 2 or 3 letters after, and it means parody. Like her saying that, talking about guns and this, that, and the other, but her body card has got the best and blah blah blah. Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen her actually say some really stupid stuff in video
Real.
interviews.
Yeah.
But this one spread so bad, so fast that the news actually come out and I can't remember which one it was, and sort of explained to people that
It's a parody account.
it's a parody account. People.
Oh,
Well, that's okay. They do that with the parody, the Trump parody things where
Oh yeah.
they something on the parody account, whatever, and it goes viral. And it's like, I looked all over. I didn't see him say that.
Well, oh hell no, I can't think. Oh, but like Weird Al, you know, it was Nirvana. You know, he went to go talk to them. He's like, you know, hey, I'd like to do a parody of your "Smells Like Teen Spirit" song.
Yeah.
And I guess all those guys were excited. They're like, hey, we've made the big time. We know we have because
Weird Al did a
Weird Al
parody.
wants to do one of our songs.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah, I heard a lot of them was that way. It's like, you know, you made it when you got a Weird Al song.
right. I mean, if you become popular enough, Weird Al's like, oh, hey, this will be funny like this. You know, yeah. But, no, I've spent the past couple weeks just getting parts. Jimmy did a hell of a job fixing the exhaust on my Suburban.
Have you talked to him about the timing thing?
Not yet.
Yeah, he can do it.
Okay.
Because he called me that night. In fact,
Yeah.
he called me. I said, you can do time. He said, yeah. He said, you can do it. He said, you actually got to plug it in the computer and then go out there and adjust it and watch the damn screen.
Yeah.
He said, but yeah, he said, we got all that stuff.
Good. It's because he's like, well, I wanted you to know. I'm like the crankshaft pulley's bent. He's like, yeah. So you saw that already? I'm like, yeah. I ordered one. Well, we did the oil. I'm like, okay. He's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, because I got the oil and filter and everything sitting at the house for it. I was like,
All I needed was the thing.
yeah. I was like, I literally bought the truck, drove it home, started like looking at parts after like looking it over, and was like got online, started ordering stuff. I was like,
How you bend the crankshaft pulley? Something get jammed up in there? Or?
I think they had somebody rebuild the engine
And dropped it?
and dropped it. So, but I mean, I found GM doesn't make the 7.4 pulley anymore.
Really?
Nobody aftermarket unless you want like the high performance billet jobbies.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford those, and I came across a small speed shop over in Ohio, and it's the crankshaft pulley is a little bit underdrive,
Yeah.
but it has like an overdrive pulley for the Delcatron, the alternator, so it'll still put out the same voltage.
Yeah.
And it was like $25 shipped to the house.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
You know, considering I looked and I found one on PDQ, which is like LKQ, which is like kind and quality. It's like a big nationwide chain of
Yeah, I think I know I've seen LKQ before.
yeah, and that's
Of course, all the new factories around here are 3 letters.
Yeah, well, the LKQ is actually like a used parts network.
Okay, that's where I've seen it from, man.
Yeah, so if you're looking for like a specific part that, you know, the manufacturers don't make anymore, you can get on there and look throughout the whole network and see who might have one. Well, of course, you get on there and I found one, but they wanted $129 for the pulley.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one.
Yep.
I'm just like, well, you know what? I guess I'll put an underdrive pulley on it. And my dad's like, well, I can try to do this, you know, but you know, he's a repairman, so I'm just like, okay, well, I'll put this one on, and I'll give the bent one to you, and you can see if you can straighten it.
But if a couple of guys were still working, you'd have a brand new one.
Right.
Make one of these. Okay.
All right. We can make one of those. But so we'll do this, and you know, we'll see what happens. I did Come to find out, it's actually pretty easy because, like, does your truck have the remotes?
No.
No, did it come from the factory or without them, or?
No, I just didn't get them.
Oh, okay.
That was all brand new then. I was like, what do I need that for? I got a key.
Yeah. Well, this one, because I wrote down all the RPO codes, like on your.
Yeah, back behind the dash.
Yeah, on
not the dash, but the glove box.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I wrote them all down just to see like how it was equipped. You know.
Yeah.
I'm going through.
Mine came with everything but leather. And the
like the convenience group with the.
Well, I got power windows, locks, everything like that. I just didn't get the door clickers.
Oh. Huh. You might be surprised the receiver and everything might be in the truck.
More than likely. Like I said, about the only thing I didn't option on it was leather because I didn't want leather because heated wasn't available then.
Yeah. And now, like, I found a couple places you can get the carbon fiber, like, heated seat kits.
Mm-hmm.
That has, like, the relays, wiring switches,
Really?
and the things you put in the seats themselves. Last one I saw was, like, $48.
That ain't bad.
No.
Now, see, I remember when I bought the truck, they actually charged you for the spare.
Yeah.
Still had a full-size spare. The spare was $100. I think the spare was
like $115, $120, something like that.
I think it was right at $100, and I was like, "Can I order 4 more of those for that price?"
Right. But they're like, this Suburban's crazy because it's got the factory like load leveling hitch, so the hitches that have the bars you can crank up on or whatever.
Yeah, like I got on my camper.
Yeah. Well, this comes with the hitch bolted to it that you can use one of those on it.
Well, see, I ordered mine with a towing package, so it come with a big hitch.
Yeah.
And I pulled that camper back. I pulled it back from North Carolina. It was nice down there. We was coming back to Indiana, and it just so happened the night we was coming back was when big ass wind, snow, rainstorm was coming.
Yeah.
I'm pulling that camper with that half-ton truck, and I'm running 75 mile an hour up the interstate. That camper never moved once. Now, I was pulling it down to Brookville one time. Got out on the interstate, realized I didn't have the things cranked down. I still had one more chain link on it because I got up to about 70, and you can see it start going that. So I just hit the next exit, went back here,
tightened it up a little bit.
Put one more link on it, tightened it up, went down the road.
Perfect.
But
so it's a 3/4 ton, but after looking at the codes, it's got the Hydro Boost brakes, so it's got like the bigger drums and discs on it.
Yeah.
It has the single axle 1-ton brakes on it.
Now, is that because of its Suburban?
It's because of the towing package.
Towing package?
Yeah, the towing package. I mean, it's got like the hitch on it. It goes underneath the Suburban, probably almost 3 feet.
I've never really called it in my truck to look. But like I said, I just got a half-ton with a towing package, which automatically gave it, I think, like an extra spray. I know the ass end of my truck sets up.
Yeah.
It sets up higher than most you see.
Yep. And this has like the overload springs in the back. It's got like the I don't know what they call it at the time, the gov lock or limited
slip. Yeah, mine come with limited slipper, and that's what it was actually called.
Yeah. And then on the front, I looked, and you can look and see in the grill, you can see the little cooler for like I think it's for the power steering because the brakes and everything run on power steering fluid.
Yeah. See, mine come with a. Yeah, I got a training. Mine come with a training cooler.
Yeah.
And then it's actually part of the radiator because I found out because I got a pinhole between it and it ruined my damn transmission because I flushed it with antifreeze.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so I had a new radiator but here's one thing I learned by building that truck, and I don't know if it's still the same now, but if anybody's going to order a truck, keep this in mind. That truck factory come with like a 350 something rear end.
Yeah.
I wanted a 373. So I'm going down through there and I checked 373 and it was like $500 to change the rear end. or like $480 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I go down. I was like, I want the towing package too. So I click towing package, and amazingly, towing package $500. Changing the rear end gears, nothing.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
you either get everything with a towing package, or you change your rear end gears. You might as well just get the towing package and get them all at once.
Yeah.
Cost the same,
Yeah. Yeah.
except for
Huh.
yeah,
It's probably the same way nowadays.
more than likely. It's the way they do things.
Because that's like the Suburban. I mean, it's even got an electric fan on the tranny cooler.
Oh wow.
Like it's set up to tow.
Yeah.
So
Like I said, you're 3/4 ton, I'm half ton, but
yeah,
I'm sure the rear end towing package is also the same.
yeah. I mean, if the half ton could have towed what I needed to, I would have went and bought a half ton because.
Well, I'm eventually going to get me a 3/4 ton. That way, I don't have to worry about. Whatever I got now, I can pull with a half ton.
Yeah.
But I figure if I'm ever going to get another truck, it's not going to be a daily driver. It's not going to go cross country or nothing like that. I might as well get, like Dad, sort of who I got it from. Get a 3/4 ton.
Do whatever
You're pretty
you want.
much covered.
Yeah.
Don't get a dually because that's just 2 more tires you got to replace.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to pull things.
Well, I mean, a friend of mine delivers campers.
Yeah.
All right. And he bought, a 1-ton single tire.
Yeah.
He's like, I put airbags on the back, and I don't have the sway problem. That's why people buy dualies. He's like, and I'm going to go through a set of tires a lot faster than most people because
You're putting
The
miles
miles.
on them.
yeah. I mean, he just brought a camper out to park at the house, and then like Monday or something, he's taking off to go to Arizona and
Yeah, I
back.
seen it when I drove by tonight.
Yeah,
The
it's
camper
like
out there.
yeah, he come pulling up and dropping it off. I'm like, dude, man, that's the perfect color. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, it matches my Suburban. He's like, oh. I was like, you're going to show up, that motherfucker's will be gone.
I don't know what are you talking about?
Camper.
What camper?
I don't know.
How'd you know my
Camper.
safe word?
How'd you know my safe word?
Camper.
But yeah, I mean, so
Damn it! I just
And of
realized
course-
something.
of course, when you buy a used vehicle, usually it's going to need tires. Because why sell a car with a brand new set of tires on it if it's not a car lot?
Exactly.
And the other thing is like, they're like, oh well, we lost they must have lost the remotes. So I found the part number for the remotes, and
You get to argue with the car dealer.
no, actually, I took the part number for the remotes and typed it into eBay. And I found 2 brand spanking new remotes, like the upgraded design, because like the old design has like a piece of plastic in it that would keep the battery in place. Well, that little itty bitty little plastic tab would break off, and the battery would slide around.
Yeah, so then it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. So it's like the updated design. And what's funny is the remotes with 4 buttons. All right, for 2 of them, cost be $19 shipped to the house
Yeah.
with instructions on how to program them.
Oh wow.
All right. If I would have bought the ones that only had 2 buttons, which is the ones that the trucks usually come with,
Yeah.
all right, it would have cost me $35 for 2 of them. I'm like, well, I'll just get the ones with the 4 buttons. The other buttons won't work. I don't care that they don't work. It's
Yeah, that's like talking about getting things that are updated. I had to have that transmission rebuilt,
yeah,
and we was putting it back in. My brother was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, it's amazing how much more stuff went back in that transmission." I was like, "Really?" He said, "With all the updates since you bought that thing on that tranny."
yeah.
He told me what some went in it, and he said that's
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because like the big thing on the 4L60s is that reverse sun shell that the clutches and everything pack in.
Yeah, I
On the
can't.
very
Yeah,
front
more
of it.
clutches.
Is like a little ring, and those would break. So it wouldn't
$900
back up.
just for the parts.
Yeah, yeah.
$2,000 to fix Libby's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, me and Jimmy pulled the transmission out, took it to the guy, and it was $900 just in parts.
Yep. But I guarantee you that tranny will.
Unless the damn radiator goes nuts again.
Yeah.
They don't
And
like
then-
antifreeze.
Well,
At
and
all.
No, they don't.
and the thing you could do is you could always get on like Summit Racing,
Yeah.
because before I found this one with the towing package, I'm like, well, I'll just get one of like the like Summit had a tranny cooler that had the fan and everything built into it. It was like $180.
That ain't bad.
And I'm like, well, I could run something like that, like a really big, huge transmission cooler like that,
Yeah.
and bypass the one in the radiator,
Yeah.
which would help cool the engine. And you could just kind of like bypass that one so it doesn't
Did you
happen
get
again.
the thermostat changed?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
I didn't know
yet.
if that was a problem or not. You told me about it.
No, I know it's bad because I borrowed my dad's scan tool,
Yeah.
and in it has live data.
Yep.
Right? So I'm just like, okay, well, I plugged it in. I'm like, I'll just leave it plugged in and look at it as I come home.
So it's basically running like it doesn't have one.
What's that?
Is it running the truck engine running like it doesn't have a thermostat?
It might be, but it never got hotter than 178 degrees.
So the thermostat's working then, because if not, it'd be up.
No, it's stuck open or it doesn't have
Yeah.
one.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it could be stuck open.
Yeah, or it could be a 180 degree thermostat.
Yeah, that's true.
Either
There's
way,
a few possibilities.
it's not getting up to 190 or whatever it is for the computer to work.
Well, you know as well as I do. Summertime, it starts getting hot. Well, pull the thermostat out.
Right?
Thermostat's $5, people.
Right.
Yeah, $5 to $10. Yeah.
I mean, a different story if it's like, okay,
So when
well,
you're freezing your ass off in the winter, wondering why didn't I just spend the $5 when I had it off of there?
yeah.
So now you're out
Yeah.
there in the middle of winter.
And I didn't have any antifreeze at the house, so I was just
Pee
like,
in it. It's the same thing, ain't it?
Damn near.
About the same color.
yeah.
Depends on what
Yeah.
you're drinking.
I was gonna say,
It's strange
why
because
does my antifreeze smell like asparagus? Oh yeah, because I had asparagus for lunch. I forgot.
For 3 days, it smelled like marshmallows.
it's strange because like every once in a while, like Myra will put weird stuff on sale, and they had an automotive flyer, so it's like, okay, I started looking at it. It's like, well, if you spend $35, which it's really easy to spend $35 on
Anything.
Yeah.
Buy a pair of jeans anymore for Shelby. It's $35.
Well, if you spend $35 in the automotive section, right? So I went. I'm like, well, I need antifreeze.
So you got your wheel cover and some fuzzy dice now?
Yeah.
Dingo balls.
Some dingle balls. And those chrome things that go on the
Boogie,
side of the
boogie, boogie.
fender that look like Buick portholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought like 2 sets of those. So
Oh,
Those are
right.
curved
I'm going to
feelers.
put those on there so it looks
You
like
gonna
I
put them on all
have...
4 doors?
No, that's only for the front fenders.
Oh.
Yeah, the Buick portals. Those go on the front fenders.
You can put them
Now-
wherever you want to.
Now, I did get some, like, chrome naked ladies to go, like, underneath the door handles. So I got 4 of those for each door handle. But no, they had a deal on
You're getting curb feelers.
Pull up to a
that
curb.
truck.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, that truck's tall enough. I need some extra long curb feelers.
Hey, I'm sure they're out there.
What was it? The guy had the Impala uptown when we was kids. And they had the fat bitch hookers on the side of it. It was a trim piece,
Yeah.
but they called it fat bitch hookers.
That's awesome.
Only people uptown.
No, like,
Mark White's the one who said that. You remember him?
I don't know.
Mark White.
Yeah. He's the one where the guy come up over the gun and Mark said, "You wait a minute." And he ran back home. And yeah.
You wait a minute.
He was good side. David was his brother. David's the one who kicked Santos in the head.
Oh, wow.
Not saying you didn't need it.
Well, I'm not going to say that either, but no. So like, they had a deal of like if you bought 2 things of Presto and antifreeze, you automatically get a $1 off each gallon, right? So I'm like, okay, well, it's like 45 more cents for, a full gallon of concentrate. I've got 6 gallons of distilled water at the house. I'm like, so for X amount of money, I can make me, 4 gallons of antifreeze, and I'll be set for a while. Well, the Roadmaster needs an oil change, so I'm just like, well, I
Get
looked.
the stuff for that.
Yeah, so they had Mobile One full synthetic on sale. It was like $22 for 5 quarts.
Ain't bad.
Not bad at all.
Full synthetic.
No. So
Here's a stupid fact about antifreeze, by the way. I think there's only like 3 plants in the United States that make that. So whatever hell labels on it,
it doesn't
it's
matter.
only coming from 3 places.
Yeah. So I'm just like, well, okay, well, my 2 things of antifreeze are going to cost me $20.
I wonder how they make that shit.
Oil is $22. That gets me over.
At the right time, the chemist just pulls out that one.
They squeeze
molecule.
avocados or
Yeah.
it's avocado juice.
So
Well, it's antifreeze or it's Mountain Dew.
No, Dr. Pepper.
Is it Dr.
Dr.
Pepper?
Yeah,
Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
So like, so I got my oil, my antifreeze, and since they had a coupon to where if you spent over $35 on stuff, you get $5 off. So I got $7 off all
Everything
3
you
of the
need.
things, plus the oil was already on sale from $26 to $22. So I didn't come out too bad.
The hell are you looking at, Pat?
Porn.
Socket, truck porn. Socket set for the engine of Libby's Jeep.
Oh. The Jeep.
The car.
The
Le
Jeep.
Jeep.
The Jeep.
Le Jeep.
Le Jeep.
The
Le
saga
car.
of Le Jeep. Ain't
You know-
dead yet.
We took it apart just fine, but evidently we can't
That's
put it
a-
together with the same.
Half-inch drive, 12-point socket set.
Yeah.
They have those at Harbor Freight.
Evidently, the ones at Harbor Freight
Or
are
a
too
little bit thicker
skinny.
walled.
They're too narrow inside. The stud comes through and stops. It doesn't allow it to seat in.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it sends them.
The inside of the deep well itself.
Right.
Oh, that sucks.
Evidently, the stud is too long.
Hey,
Sounds dirty, I know, but
some studs are just that way.
so when I have an extra $40, I'll go buy that.
I had 40,
Uh-huh.
and then I spent it on a ticket.
Yeah.
I don't even have enough money to pay my bills.
Ooh.
Oof. I
That's sort of how that goes, because I've been getting harassing phone calls.
Well, I told you how I answered mine. Geek Public Radio, you're on the air. Click. Hello? Huh?
I just give them a fake name.
Pick up the
Like-
phone. What you want? What is it? Who?
I don't know,
No
like,
time for you. Click.
no, because they asked for like my wife's maiden name, right?
I'd kill her.
I'm
He
like,
dead.
what? No, this isn't them. I was like, this is the Bloom residence.
Blue?
I was like, what do you mean the Blue residence? I'm asking for Miss Brown. I'm like,
No, it's blue.
not Blue, Bloom, as in BLUME, Bloom. I was like, I started like an elaborate story about how I grew up being Billy Bloom. I was like, my parents, I think they hated me when I was a kid because everybody was like, Billy Bloom, Billy Bloom. He's like, he started laughing. He's like, oh, okay, sorry to bother you. Click.
I just
I
think
get
it's
phone
funny.
calls from Kansas.
Kansas?
Yeah, come to find out, it's just that this is Rebecca from Card Holder Services or something like that.
I got one the other day that says, there's nothing wrong with your card. We just want to make sure if everything's okay. I don't want to talk to you.
It's like, if they ever called me from Kansas, I'd be like, I answered the phone and be like, carry on, wayward son.
Carry on, wayward son. You got Toto with you?
Have you seen my dog?
Have you seen my dog?
He took off.
His name's Kyle.
Seen Kyle?
My dog's named Kyle. You seen Kyle?
He's about so tall. Libby did that the other day, and I said, no, he's a little taller than that.
Oh, man.
I
Yeah,
got home to a house full of people tonight.
Uh-oh. More invasion of Germans?
No, they're in Chicago.
Oh, that's right. They went. Yeah, I
Sweet
forgot.
home Chicago.
Yeah, whole bunches of extra kids.
Yeah.
And then a big kid showed up knocking on the door.
A big kid.
Yeah. Kylie.
Yeah, she's a big kid, about ready to have another kid.
Like I said, how do you think I was
2,
giving
3,
you some work for tomorrow?
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. I was
She's
getting
like,
my-
she actually said, I don't have no way to get that down there. I was like, you don't see that blue truck? I said, we'll get it down there for you, kid. Said, "You know what?
Right.
We'll get it moved one way or the other.
If that doesn't work, I know where I can borrow a big ass trailer.
Yeah. It'll get moved.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. We'll get her figured out. But no, I don't know. Lots of different goings on. Like, filed all my paperwork to like retire from the state.
No. Maybe he's going to run for president.
No,
Give him
I'm not
time.
gonna run for president.
I'm pretty sure you can make it on the Democratic Party. They can't find nobody.
Oh, they've got people they want. They just know the people that won't vote for them.
Right.
Are you Indian? Any? At all? A
Nah.
1%?
I'd probably go like libertarian.
Well, if you're an Indian, you might be in.
Like,
Because they're
and
wanting to run that one girl that says she's Indian, but not even
I'm
close.
telling you, if we could get like the pot smokers out and like voting, we could get a libertarian in because they want to like legalize weed for everybody.
See, my cousin lives in Tennessee talking about legalizing weed.
Yeah,
And like I said, it's Facebook stuff, so hell, I don't know if it's true, but it makes sense to me. There's a senator or somebody from there, and she's talking about, gave this big old long speech about how they shouldn't legalize marijuana because, you know, the opioids, they said those was non-addictive, and, well, they became addictive, and now they're saying marijuana. Well, what if we get people addicted? I guess her husband owns a company that makes drug testing kits or something like that. So if they legalize marijuana, medical marijuana, they have a chance to. He won't sell
go
as
under.
much stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They'll never go under because there's only going to be tests.
I mean, we got to go on a break.
Got to pay the bills.
Okay,
Got to pay the bills.
Well, it's-
We'll pick this
is
up on the way
main thing.
back.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back around to it. I mean, hell, it's ADD radio.
Eventually.
That and 20 other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably come
next.
back and then like talk about Carl's Jr.
Oh, see, there's 3.
We'll be back after these messages.
You're listening to The Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio with your hosts, Pat Brooks and Bill Maddox. You can find out more by checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GPR The Man Cave. And now, our hosts, Pat and Bill.
That's all right. Hey, listen,
Well, it's like
really,
everybody calls you Tiny. I can't do it. You're Bill.
right. Well, you've known me longer than
Tiny.
the nickname.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, and that's
Well,
how
that,
you can,
and we have to be careful about how we phrase that because Pat humping Bill.
What? Huh? What?
That's
No,
not
just-
quite.
Yeah, you
very-
put my name in the middle. It's
Pat
makes
humping
bad
Bill.
things.
Yeah.
We have
Well,
the cave
and that's how you can kind of judge like how long somebody's known me.
Is what they call you.
Yeah. So if somebody's known me like since high school or whatever, some people know me as Tiny or whatever. But like
I always
you know,
call you Bill.
Yeah, but you guys have known me forever and a day, so it's Bill. And then my nickname kind of wore off when I met you. So it's kind of like you can always like
Well,
judge.
what's funny is my parents still call you Tiny.
Yeah.
Though it's like, well, I went over to Bill's house. Bill who? Maddox? Oh, Tiny. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
yeah.
depends on when they met him.
Yeah.
Well,
And it-
what, my stepdad's related.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on, and I am pretty excited to like since the weather's getting nicer, to like
for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wanting to get my garage straightened up because I want to get my old Honda up to the garage. And
Which
work
one?
on
You got
it.
two of them out there, don't you? There's a Honda and a Suzuki.
I got the 750 Honda, the 500 Suzuki, and then like the 750 parts bike.
Okay. I knew you had 2 or 3 bikes out there. I didn't know if they were both Hondas or... I didn't
Yeah.
pay that much attention.
The Suzuki, they're actually starting to make like spares for it because like the popularity of them's kind of grown because it's an old 2-stroke bike. So like the parts that we couldn't find before, they're actually starting to make reproduction now.
It's because, there's money in it, so...
Yeah, and the only thing that was really wrong with the bike was...
I'd like to find that little 2-stroke Kawasaki I learned to ride on.
I can ask who it was sold to.
I wouldn't mind having that little bastard back.
Yeah.
You couldn't run over 65 mile an hour, but you didn't need to.
No, as fast as you wanted it to be to 65.
Oh, yeah. But if you could learn to ride that, you could ride anything. Because it's rev happy, you definitely learn how to rev it up and then let it go with a clutch.
Yeah.
So
And this,
I miss the high back.
the high back.
I missed the high back. I liked riding.
Everybody
that.
liked to ride it.
It was comfortable.
Wasn't that like a Kawasaki LTD or
550
something?
LTD.
Yeah, we could find you another one.
Dad sold that to some black guy with the, I think the head was cracked.
Oh, yeah? That sucks.
Sold it to him for $400.
Yeah. But, I would like to get the old 750 going.
754.
Yeah, just to
I
like...
enjoyed riding that. They're driving that right.
I can
that-
guarantee you the minute you fired it up, Dustin would come from somewhere.
Yeah,
and
he'd
wanna
come out of
jump it.
nowhere. But I just get it going, get the brakes working right, and ride it.
I've still got to get the battery for my key fob thingy.
Oh, and your Harley.
Security won't work.
That's not
Doing what it's
good.
supposed to.
Yeah, it's working all right.
Yeah,
It's working too damn good. It won't let me get around it. They're eventually going to recall that. Did I tell you? I got a letter from Harley Davidson.
yeah.
They're now offering, if I get it to a dealership, they'll flush the brake fluid for free. I'm waiting for them to say, hey, just bring it in and we'll replace the anti-lock brakes. Then I'll have to call Jimmy up and say, hey, come help me put these ends back on. Because when we took it off, we took it, put the ends back on it, and I set the little box on the shelf.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put something back on there that when
Locks
it goes
up.
bad, no, there's no brakes.
No brakes. Oh, Jesus. No.
There's no
Just-
ABS. You normally have a bypass where the brakes still work.
right.
You just drag your feet.
Jimmy, both hands could not pull the front brake caliper.
Oh,
That's how
Jesus.
hard that was locked up.
Yeah, that's
And
not
you've
good.
seen what
Yeah.
shit's
Yeah.
and he couldn't pull on it.
Mr. Monkey Fingers.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
you're
that's-
telling me that we'll sell you another one of those for $600, but there's a chance
No.
it could happen again. No, you won't. I'll
No.
go back old school for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. I rode a bike without it
Yeah,
for years.
I ain't saying that if they ever fix the problem or offer to fix it, that I won't get the anti-lock brakes again because I don't think it's a bad idea.
No.
But when failure is no brakes at all, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anti-brakes is not working. Well, no brakes are working.
Yeah.
Like I said, just drag your feet.
I just got lucky and was pulling out of the garage when I found it.
Yeah. Because like my old Yukon, like when the analog brakes were acting up, it's like it would think that the brakes were locking up and it wasn't, and so every time you'd stop, it's like, wah,
Yeah.
like you could feel the ABS pump running.
Yeah.
You just you unplug the power wire to it, and you had regular brakes.
Yep.
It
This
didn't.
and their version of anti-locks is not a pump or anything like that. The brakes, all the lines go into this block that's got different bullshit valves and things like that in it,
Yeah.
and then it comes out of that block and back to your brakes. It goes from the handle to that block to your brakes.
Yeah.
Is the way, and you can't. If it, yeah. They screwed the design up. They had the design for 3 years. If that tells you anything.
Yeah. No, because Honda's had ABS on their bikes for
BMW, Honda.
Yeah.
I watched a video for the new Gold Wings.
Yeah.
If I ever bought a new one, I'd seriously think about switching to a damn Gold Wing. Oh my God.
Really?
It's heated seat, heated drips, just all the stuff that comes on it. That Gold Wing's just an amazing piece of machinery. I don't care who the hell you are. You gotta appreciate what they do with it.
They're like a serious like long haul bike.
They drop the weight by 90 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's saying something on a bike that big.
Yeah. But they redid the frame. They redid the bike. It's a good looking bike. But
I always thought they were neat looking.
Yeah. It's 1,800 and some cc.
Yeah.
You know, a 6-cylinder.
Flat 6.
Yep. But
and that's
yeah,
why. And that's why if I really miss riding a motorcycle. And that's why I'm going to start with what I have, because it needs, the brake caliper rebuilt. It's like one of the square O-rings and a bleeder screw and something else, and I can
minor
rebuild.
stuff.
Yeah, I bought a brand new master cylinder for it. It's not like the original, but it'll work. It's like, okay, well, I can buy this one brand new for $10 that looks like a modern brake master cylinder.
Yeah.
Or I can buy one that looks like the original from Honda, so it's like correct.
Yeah.
It was like $115. Like, well,
Are you trying to show it off or
yeah,
sell it as a... Yeah, exactly.
If I was restoring it to like 100%, 100-point original or whatever, I would consider the $115 part.
I just want to ride it.
Yeah, it's
$10 is fine.
Yeah, like $30 to redo the front brake and new pads. Guess what? And then adjust the valves and the timing and stuff. And if it runs and drives that pretty good, I might upgrade to the electronic ignition, just because setting the timing on one of those old bikes is a process, because like cylinder 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 match up, so you have to set the timing on one pair of cylinders, and you have to set the timing on the other pair of cylinders, because there's two sets of points and condensers in there. The heck is that?
It's a motorcycle.
Yeah, but what?
Doubless wheels.
It's a lowrider.
I was trying to figure out the motor. Jim
350?
thought Gold Wing.
It kind of
That
looks
looks
like
like
a
a car
Gold Wing.
motor.
It could be the flat 6 they put in the Subarus,
It could be.
like the
That's-
H6 or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it looks really neat. They'd probably ride horrible. I'm just guessing.
Huh? That does look awful lot like the.
It didn't
Like
look
the-
like it looks too big to be a Gold Wing motor.
Yeah,
Gold
I mean
Wing
it could be a
motors aren't that big, right?
Subaru or
What was that bike that had
or
the
like
V6 on
a
it?
Porsche, it's like an air cooled Porsche motor.
It could be. It's definitely like I said. You can tell it's definitely a 6.
What was that bike called that had the V6 on it?
Well,
You had the Boss Haas that had the small block and the big
Right.
block V8s, but
V8.
but there's a bunch of bikes that, not a bunch, but Honda uses 6s a lot.
yeah, because they had that CBX for a while that was like 6 cylinders wide.
I remember that because you had to be like have a really wide stance to sit on that thing, or you're gonna burn your legs.
But I've been looking at older
Kawasaki's?
Valkyries,
Oh, Valkyries. Okay, yeah.
because for not a whole bunch of money, you can get like the. You all right? For not a whole bunch of money, you can find like the touring ones that have like the hard bags and stuff in the back, and kind of like your bike.
Yeah.
But-
I'm looking at it now, yeah. It's basically the Gold Wing motor.
Yeah, it's a
But-
Gold Wing.
Yeah, more of a cruiser chassis than it is a...
Yeah, yep. And that's
You need to look at the rooms.
The runes are nice, but I can't afford one.
So
They still want that much for them?
Yeah.
they're always overpriced. So since
Yeah.
you guys are talking motorcycles, there's a question on here. It says, if you had to choose between never riding your motorcycle again or only dating supermodels for the rest of your life, would you use regular or premium gasoline?
Premium.
Whatever the book called for.
Right now,
I think it's all premium, isn't
being
it?
a smaller motor, the premium, because you can get that without the damn ethanol in it.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the premium? Now they have the premium plus.
Well, if you go to Rickers, you get the it's basically like a premium. I don't know what it is, but Rickers.
It's that separate.
Well, it's only
green
on two
one?
pumps out there,
Yeah,
but
Yeah, ethanol free.
ethanol free.
yeah.
But you can buy over,
Or you go to a co-op. Co-op has
Yeah.
no ethanol.
over there in Elwood at the co-op.
Yep.
Their regular has no
No
ethanol.
ethanol, yeah. I just no more than what it costs to fill that thing up.
Right.
What is it like?
Just
I
go
think
out
the
to
most I've
Rickers
ever put it in is $10, $11.
Yeah, I mean, I'd run it in my bike. 'Cause
That was when I found out that the fuel gauge didn't work.
but yeah, I was no, especially storing in the winter.
yeah,
Stay away from
yeah.
the ethanol.
yeah.
I still
'Cause-
I still put the Stay-Bill in it,
yeah.
but yeah, Stay-Bill and no, gas with no ethanol.
Because I forget what the term is, but ethanol is hydroscopic,
Yeah.
something or other, where as it sits, it'll attract
Water.
water. Yeah. So,
They recommend you don't run it in lawnmowers, weed eaters, anything like that.
well, I don't mind putting it in my lawnmower because, like, I'm using my lawnmower every week,
Yeah.
to mow and stuff with, and
What
like,
the hell are you mowing in the winter?
huh?
So what are you mowing in the winter?
He's pushing snow.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
in my plowing. But when they go to sit or whatever, I'll put the ethanol free in
Yeah.
and run it a little bit,
Yeah. To get-
just to get the ethanol out.
Yep.
Like all my smaller stuff, like the rototiller, because I've got an old Montgomery Ward rototiller.
Yeah.
And it's got a metal tank on it,
Yep.
so that gets nothing but the
Ethanol free. Yep.
You
See,
know,
now if
that-
I'm on a long trip or something, I'd put whatever in it, but no more. I've been able to ride the last couple summers. Just
Yeah,
I don't even put the ethanol stuff in it right now.
yeah. I mean,
If I rode from here to Tennessee and I had to stop 2 or 3 times to get gas, yeah, I'm just gonna put whatever. in
whatever,
it.
because
It'll run out by the time I get back
well,
home.
that and when you're on a trip like that, you're going to be hard pressed to find.
No ethanol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shell might have it.
I don't know.
I don't know
think
because they're not going to advertise it if they do have it.
there's I know there's like a
Rickers
website.
advertises theirs because people want with no ethanol.
Yeah. There's like a website you can actually look up ethanol-free fuel.
Now I know
cannot
the
remember the name of it though.
soy diesel will actually grow like a fungus or mold or bacteria in your tank.
Nice.
Yeah, Brenner says that he uses the ethanol free, and that's all he ever uses.
And the bike.
Yeah, that's a nice bike he's got.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though, is like,
As long as
something
you
like
burn
that.
as long as you burn through the tank fairly quickly, it's not going to have a chance to hurt anything. Like I
Yeah.
said, you go on a long trip, it's not going to matter too much, but
Yeah, because it's not going to be sitting in the tank long enough to.
to cause any problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I want to start with this bike, and see, if I can work my feet well enough to run the shifter and the brake and everything, and something a little bit smaller
Yeah.
that I might look kind of silly on at first, but
Start out with mine. Heaviest damn thing made today.
yeah, and that's
Part of the reason I was looking at that Gold Wing. If you drop 90 pounds off that Gold Wing, that's a hell of a difference on a bike that
Yeah.
size.
And that's why, I appreciate, you guys like, oh, you can ride mine, you can ride this. It's like, well, let me see if I can ride one first.
Yeah.
Because if I have a hard time, feeling the ground or whatever with my feet, I don't want to drop your guys' like nice bikes.
Well, if you're going to drop one, drop mine. It's the oldest.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to drop one, I want to drop my own That way,
Hey, technically, you can't drop Jim's dad's. There's no way possible.
No.
well, if you drop that one,
You're doing
You're-
something.
You
Doing
drove off a damn
something.
cliff.
you have done something amazing.
Oh, we was coming home the other night up 35 and just dropping something, doing something amazing. It was a ditch, went down about at least a 45-degree angle, and it probably
Yeah.
dropped down for about 6 feet.
Oh, wow.
And car was going this way, and it come through the ditch. I don't know how it worked, but they ended up going like that because it was parked on the back side of the ditch, facing straight towards the road. And I'm pretty sure there was nothing left of the interior on that driver's seat or the cloth. I did, yeah.
Probably not.
That had
Oh,
been a
wow.
hell of a ride.
I know
How they
you're-
did it without flipping is
Well,
beyond me.
God was
Who
the
knows?
co-pilot. I know where your wife's at.
What
That
is
look
that?
familiar?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really familiar.
I wouldn't know where that was until you said something about your buddy dropping the trailer off.
Yeah,
Oh.
but look at the color of that camper.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
she
that
said
look
she was going out
sweet
there.
behind my Suburban? With that gray camper behind my kind of gray metallic Suburban? That would look sweet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I got home and people was just proving that some people don't.
Yeah.
Why the hell they're wasting my oxygen is beyond me.
Yeah. Yeah. Because your wife called my wife.
Looks
Yeah.
like you're testing out your new licenses.
Yeah.
Test run.
Oh, I felt so sorry for Angie the other day. Not for her, but one of the families called her. And I'm not sure how much I can go into. Well, I'm not saying any names, so. But the lady, she can't have kids of her own. That's why she's doing a foster to adopt. And 18-month-old little boy. And she's using a hot glue gun. And she has it setting somewhere, and it falls off before she can reach down to get it. And you know how fast a 2-year-old is.
Yeah.
Grabs it and burns himself. And she's scared to death, saying, I'm a bad mommy. And Angie's trying to tell her, no, you're not a bad mommy. I said, Angie, tell her what I did with the girls. And she proceeded to tell her the story of how I dropped Deanna on Katie and gave Deanna a black eye. And that got her laughing. And it's like every parent screws up.
Right.
That was
It's
not
gonna
your
happen.
fault.
But not. You don't. You're not beating them. You're not feeding them.
No, but I could hear her crying on the phone. And usually to get people not crying and their minds off thing, I tell them dumb things I did. And that's about as bad as you can get. I dropped one kid on the other and gave him black eyes. But yeah, I felt so far sorry for that girl. But yeah. What the hell was we talking about when we went to break?
I don't remember.
We was going to get back to it.
We'll get back
We'll
to
get
it.
back to it sooner or later because
eventually.
something will happen where it'll switch over.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the Suburban.
No, I can't remember if it turned political or not.
No, that was during the break.
No, we talked a little bit about crazy stuff because you was filling out paperwork, and I said to run for
Run
I
for
can't
president.
remember.
Run for president. No, I can't run for president.
It
Ain't
doesn't
no way.
matter. But here's something that'll really tweak your mind. I guess over in the UK,
Yes.
they have the first ever super gonorrhea.
Nice.
It is not treatable by antibiotics.
I know what we was talking about. The woman in Tennessee doesn't want medical marijuana.
It doesn't want it.
Yeah, because her husband owns the
Drug.
drug testing
Oh,
company.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll lose money.
Yeah. If somebody's against something, just trace the money. That's all you got to do on most of this stuff. If they're voting one way or the other, they're bought and paid for.
Well, here, I think a lot of it has to do with Elanco, Eli Lilly and Company.
Trace the money.
Yeah.
Who's paying those people's bills?
Yeah.
You can't have a job that pays $112,000 a year and become a millionaire in 4 years. Ain't possible.
Nope.
Unless there's something else coming in from somewhere. So
Every science company's got a backer of something pushing some kind of agenda.
oh hell, every company's got a workforce of people in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like that one guy that bought out the patent on that cancer drug.
Yeah, then like tripled the price or whatever.
Yeah, it was like $12, and then when the patent ran out,
Triple hell, it went 100 times more expensive.
What was it? He turned it up to like $600.
Yeah, something crazy.
And now he's going to prison.
Yeah, because that.
For basically what he did.
No, it was for something else, but because he did that, they started looking harder at other things.
But yeah, I just, some people are stupid, and it's.
Actually, I think they started looking at where he got the money from and found out.
He was dirty.
Yeah, dirty as hell.
Probably.
Sort of like Capone, tax evasion. Well, we can't get you for murder, but we can get you for tax evasion.
Everybody's got a, what is it? A political agenda, I guess. No, it's not really political.
I was going to thought you was going somewhere else. Everybody's got an asshole is what I thought you were going to say.
Well, we do
And
do
an
have
opinion.
That. We've all got assholes, just like opinions. Oh, wait, that's backwards.
I don't know these days.
Well, everybody gets so butthurt over.
Well, they're both offensive.
I guess they are. Over opinions. 10 years ago, we could have said, that president's a cocksucker, and half the country wouldn't have jumped down your throat,
I didn't think of it this way until it was put online, but Trump's got a porn star that's 33 years old or younger than him wanting to talk about
what they
how
did
she
10
slept
years
with
ago?
him. Yeah, but still, he's got a porn star wanting to brag about him.
I don't know.
What I don't get is where did it happen?
His hotel.
I don't care.
No. Get this. Okay.
It wasn't in the Oval Office. It wasn't under the desk.
He was
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
If
matter.
No, that didn't happen, remember?
What state did it happen in?
I don't think it matters.
Confusion.
Bliss?
New York?
It does matter.
I think it was New
I
York.
think
State
it's
of bliss.
California.
Was it California?
All right.
'Cause
California
Yeah, well, that's what they were talking about. They were saying that
has prostitution is illegal in California.
He didn't pay her.
well, no, not just that. What they're actually so the lawyer has actually opened her up to several lawsuits and jail time
Yeah.
because you have to have dual consent for videotaping or any electronic taping. So when he took the picture of the DVDs, and the little thing sitting there saying, I wonder, he talks about, we have evidence, yada, yada, yada. Well, if that's recorded evidence from the actual encounter, that's federal time.
That's why every time somebody calls and says this phone call is being recorded for security reasons, they have to tell you.
Right.
Indiana
Is
however,
a single-party consent.
Yeah, is a single-party state. So if I record a phone call,
Only one party needs to know.
if I know about it, it's okay.
Yep.
It still
Kinda
helps
like-
if you say, just to let you know you're being recorded.
Yeah, kind of like, when I was doing the Uber, I was a part of an Uber group. They're like, oh, well, you have to post a sign, this, that, and the other. I'm like, no. No, you do not. What you need to do is you need to look up the law.
No,
'Cause the law says-
video consent is different.
Now,
If-
the person has to sign off for video, right?
Video consent is different than audio consent. You can record a phone call all you want as long as you're a party to the conversation. Video consent, if they are have any expectation of privacy.
You're in a car. You're hitching a ride from a
I know,
stranger.
but what I'm saying, if there's any consent or construed consent of privacy, then taping is out of the question altogether.
Yeah, but
Depends
When
on
you're-
how their
when you're-
lawyer argues the situation.
yeah, but
Depends on how good the lawyer is.
when you're in a car driving down the road, there's not really any privacy. All right, because
Well, all taxi cabs
Windows.
have monitoring videos on them now
yeah,
for
because
the driver's safety.
you're in a car in public with windows all the way around you.
I was drunk at a
At that
bar.
point, you
threw
should
me in the
realize, okay, if I'm picking my nose, the person beside me is going to be able to see me picking my nose in my car.
Right.
Doesn't stop me.
All right.
That's offensive, and you're racist.
So when
He's
it
like,
comes now, if I was sitting in my car, in my garage, in my house, picking my nose,
Yeah.
With
then
the
I would
garage door down and the engine running.
Yeah.
That's another topic.
But that'd be a different story if I was in my bathroom picking my nose. That you would consider that
Didn't McConaughey get arrested for playing bongos naked in his house?
Yeah, I think the
in
window
front of
the
an
big
open window.
Still inside his house.
But if you're in front of the window where everybody can see it,
So if you want to stand in front of your windows out facing 28, you can't stand there naked and go and not even get arrested.
I
If somebody
could.
sees you
Actually,
and complains,
That's a tricky subject because, just as is pointed out, the expectation of privacy also extends to a vehicle in a sense of it's already been established by the courts that the reason for them not being able to lawfully search your car without permission, it also falls under the reasonable expectation of privacy in your vehicle.
But
He's not a lawyer, he just plays one on the radio.
does not cover. Okay, a cop cannot open things up and physically search them without your consent or a warrant.
Right.
But if they can see it,
yeah, if it's out in the open, yeah,
exactly. If it's out in the open,
like your
that's a
ashtray's open,
different
you
story.
got three roaches in there. That's
right? Or you got a syringe laying in the passenger seat. You got a baggie of weed in the back seat. If they can walk up and they can look through the window and see it, you do not have to give consent for that because it's out in the open.
What do they call that? Public eye?
Yeah, public view.
does it cover clear backpacks?
That's racist.
Right?
That violates my First Amendment. No, that's your Fourth Amendment, dude.
Well, he doesn't even know what he's talking about unless CNN tells him.
You're not 18, so
You have no expectation of.
That's right. We don't know how to send an iMessage
I guess so.
because we're parents.
Because that was actually like a whole subject in like my my crim class, to where if you think something's hidden, you have to ask permission or get a warrant. But if you walk up and see it, like somebody has like a gun up on the dash or whatever, if it's in public view where somebody just walking by can look over and see something, that's a different story.
I was
Speaking of
saying,
seeing
Brendland versus California gave the exact opposite opinion.
Oh, dear God in heaven. Topic change, I'm sorry, but rumor has it. Do you know what the DQ's turning into in Ellick?
Gyros.
Euros.
I'm going to have to keep that freaking Harley jacket.
That's what Stafford said. He was like, "Oh God, they could just like dump that. If it's the same people over there, they give you like all the fries, and they're like this big around." And
We went to, remember the VJ's Brew House we kept talking about, exit 210?
210.
Yeah, that brew house I kept seeing.
Yes.
It's a BJ's Brew House. They've got them in Cincinnati. They got them everywhere. So we just happened to, well, I've already tried Portillo's. I did that when we was up in Maryville, and that's good. It's fast food. It's fairly cheap.
Is that the place that has the chocolate cake shake?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we went there and we tried that, but we got down to Cincinnati Friday and did the thing at the zoo, and which was pretty cool. We got to see the baby hippo because it was 50 degrees, so she was out. And you're looking at it, you're like, that's a baby? And then Mama swims by. It's like, yeah, that's a baby. God damn, them things are huge. But we went to BJ's Brew House. You know what option they have there? Gluten-free buns.
Really?
Yes.
Gluten-free buns.
Yep. You
Nice.
can get gluten-free at BJ's.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, Topher, just to let you know, man, my buns are gluten-free too.
Yeah.
I'm non-fattening.
But yeah, I can't remember what they called it, but it was basically a hamburger and then chopped up brisket on top of that and then barbecue sauce and caramelized onions. God, that thing was good.
Caramelized onions, man, they tear me up something fierce.
Brittany got a chicken fried hamburger where they put it in the chicken fried stuff and then they do that.
They deep fry it.
Well, here's the thing. They put the gravy on top of that and then they put an egg on top of that.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
dear God.
Her hands was covered by the time she got done eating, but there was nothing left of it. She
Cholesterol?
loved it.
See,
They'd be like,
Her cholesterol jumped 200 points.
And she got clam chowder
Heartburn?
and bread bowl. and everybody liked exactly what they got. I mean, but yeah.
So the Germans are going to go back about 20 pounds heavier.
I'm definitely.
Well, yeah.
If anybody ever wants to go down to the one at exit 210, I'll go for a long. It was good.
Was that the? You said the BJ's.
BJ's Brew House.
It's
Behind the
It's right there off of the road.
Duluth.
No, it's not behind it. That's
Well, it says
kind of
it's got-
sort of. It's right on the main road.
Yeah, that and Permane Brothers.
They got one in Noblesville,
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
talking
what he's
about.
talking about.
Greenwood. Let me get it Noblesville, Greenwood,
Somebody throw something at
Avon.
him. I've only got deadly things here.
You're seeing them around a lot. And I can,
Yeah.
well, like I said, every time we drove past it, even at lunchtime, the parking lot was packed.
Yeah.
I understand why.
How could you be mad
Sunday-
at me for cutting me off before I could finish my conversation?
Sunday, after
Not
church,
bad.
we went and saw the I Can Only Imagine movie.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I wanted to see
it was
it.
really good. I Can Only Imagine. It was basically how he came up with the
song,
With
the
the
lyrics,
song.
and everything. Yeah, it just looked like the trailer looked like it'd be a good movie.
It was.
Hey, speaking of trailers, did Brittany get that trailer I sent her called Voldemort?
I have no clue.
They're coming out with it's called Voldemort, but it's all about him growing up.
Oh wow, that'd be cool.
I don't know who's directing it or who wrote it, but I saw it yesterday and I tagged her in it. I think it's on my
No,
page.
afterwards we went to that Permane Brothers.
Good.
It's addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. We
Yeah, I
went.
went there.
We went during Gen Con twice, and then
One person complained.
and then before the Colts
they-
games we went to, we stopped in there, and because I could get the sandwiches out the bun, and just what is your biggest sandwich, and can I get a double?
There you
There's
go.
this pile full of meat and cheese and whatnot, and it's like, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here."
Well, I mean, I got a different burger than I did last time. It was good, but they had their boneless wings or whatever on Sunday were half price.
I want to try their pizza there at Permane Brothers one time.
Yeah, but every time we go there to try something, you look at the damn sandwiches and you go, "Nope, I gotta have that."
No, I'm getting this. Well, that brew house has pizza too, and I skipped over the pizza on that one.
Shelby got the pizza and really liked it.
There's a
Okay.
pizza place in, I think it's Fisher's, but they cook everything with the old stone oven.
Yeah, wood fires.
Yeah, wood fire, yeah.
The brick oven.
See, now
Yeah.
we tried a place over there. You see them around Cincinnati, you see them around Dayton. And if I had the money, I'd
Sorry.
open up a couple of them around Indy, but it's called Rapid Fire Pizza. And you go in there, and it depends on what you get, but if you pay $7.50, it's like probably like a 12-inch pizza. They get 6 slices out of it.
Yeah.
You pick what sauce you want, what cheese you want, any topping for $7.50. They slap it in the oven. Like 5 minutes later, it comes out.
Done.
You're done.
Nice.
It was $10 for a drink and a pizza.
That ain't bad.
But it's called Rapid Fire Pizza, and first place I seen them was Ohio, and they're starting to pop up all over there. But man, if you could put one around a business park or something like that, or just somewhere close,
yeah.
the money that place would make. You know,
Yeah,
have
especially
a
at,
pizza
like,
and a drink in
lunchtime or
5
whatever.
minutes, and you're out the door.
Right. Especially when you're looking at, like, most people there have 30 minutes tops.
Yeah,
And you put it, like, right outside of there.
yeah. And it was actually a decent pizza. Like I said, the reason I know it's $10 is because for 6 of us, it was $60 and some change.
Nice. That
So
ain't
there-
bad.
Everybody
Yeah, you
got to
can't
pick
beat
their
that.
own pizza with whatever they wanted on it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
like, there was a gas station that had the in Pennsylvania. It was like East Coast, Eastern Seaboard, big gas station chain that's slowly making. I can't for the life of me remember it, but it was a place that we literally went and it had like a big food restaurant thing in it.
Mm-hmm.
All push button auto, you order and pay and the whole 9 yards right there and the only people who actually work there is either the gas station, like you can do you can pay for your pump and you do all that, but like the people who are making the food are the only live people in the building.
It's like a Speedway Cafe.
Kind of, yeah. I heard they're actually coming over here, but they had like some of the greatest food when we were doing the Gettysburg surveys for the line that went through the right by the park.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, like we would wake up in the morning, we eat the breakfast. We'd skip the breakfast at the hotel, eat there.
What's $1?
Eat there for breakfast, get our lunch, and then come back and like stop on the way back in, and because it was that good of food, and it was a gas station.
Well, Jim Hill was not lying about the cinnamon rolls at that gas station.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
God! Out of a gas, you would not expect it.
I
Everybody
can't
else
remember for the
everybody
life
else
of
is
me.
eating breakfast downstairs in the morning. No, I had a big ass cinnamon roll. Don't worry about it. Because I bought like a 4-pack when we was in there.
Mm-hmm.
But
I saved those for snack when I got back to the hotel room.
oh, it was good. But no, that's the first time I've been in a Speedway Cafe is over there. And you go up, and like you said, you go touch the computer screen, and you can pick pizza or sandwich. Or I got an Italian sub, and it's actually pretty damn good. But yeah, it's just like anything else. The people make it, and then they call your number, you pick it up, and go pay for it or whatever. But yeah, I think if we all go do something, BJ's Brewhouse, like I said, find out it's gluten free.
Yeah, that
You can get that option.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it
That's
available
awesome.
for everybody.
I mean,
I didn't get any beer, but
Sheets. That was the name of the gas station.
that actually sounds familiar. I think I've seen one before. But they make their own root beer and vanilla sodas and black cherry and orange.
yeah.
Brittany wanted a root beer float, but somebody screwed up and didn't do enough root beer. So she got the orange. What they call orange sickles? You know, the orange
Creamsicles.
Creamsicles is exactly what that thing tasted. I don't like much orange, but creamsicles for some reason. It's probably because of the vanilla ice cream I like. But that orange float she got was just like a creamsicle.
Oh, that's what I did this past week. Was I busted out my big stainless steel pot
Oh yeah.
because I had some mash laying around that I needed to
Use up.
And
Just
I got
happened to have some.
yeah, just happened to have some. I actually got more out of it with this new pot than my old one.
Oh yeah, you did get the new one, didn't you?
Yeah, so I got almost out of that 5 gallons. I got just at 1 gallon of pure clear stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
talking about stuff. We was over there. We went to the Newport Aquarium,
Yeah.
and Sean must have told me about that German restaurant. I told the German girls about it, and man, they was up for it. So we went to it because it's
Yeah.
only a block away, and whatever they both ordered, they said, "Yeah, this is just like you'd get it at home."
Nice.
I mean, authentic. Of course, I think it was noon, so I was okay because I was drinking then. But I was like, I'm in a German restaurant. I'm getting a damn beer.
Yeah.
But so
Because
let's say, like, when
they
you were down
make
there,
it right there.
So when you were down there, like we were in Cincinnati for a thing. They have the one of 2 actual authentic German beer halls.
I think that's what I was in. Was one of them.
The Hopborough House.
Yeah, that was it. That's where I went.
We got so hammered. That's where I hugged the governor of Kentucky.
Was it?
Yeah, after 3 shot skis and like 4 of the big.
Boots.
just
You
the
can get a
big
boot. I got a
pint,
picture of it.
Yeah.
You can get
or the big.
you can get a 2-liter boot.
Nice.
It's like $100 and some bucks.
Have you seen there's places now that are like Mexican restaurants in general are selling tubes, 3 different tubes that hold I think it's like 20 margaritas total,
Oh,
and then
Jesus.
3 different flavors.
Oh wow.
So one could be like
How big is a tube?
original.
No shit.
No, the tubes are like 3 inches around.
Well, you're sitting there
and
going
about 3 foot
tubes.
tall.
Oh, okay. You said tubes. I was
You're
thinking.
saying tubes. It's like,
Like
how tall is this
test-
damn
I
tube?
thought- I
to
was
hold 20
thinking-
Well, it is a
margaritas?
tube.
Yeah,
Think
I was
about it.
thinking test tubes.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, exactly. Like the kamikaze shooters come
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
I was like, well, like 20 margaritas. They're like, holy crap, that must be like.
But I was looking through the beers, and they had the one. And of course, I asked the German girls. I said, "Is this one any good?" And Linda says, "Well, my parents like it." And then Yolanda's like, "So do mine." She goes, "I like it too." She's 16; she can drink over it.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, I'll get one of them." And she asked me if I wanted the big mug or the. I was like, I got to drive after this. After we do a couple of things, so just give me the whatever the hell it was. half liter instead of a full liter.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was. I recommend it. I got a.
That was one of my favorite places when we were down there.
Yeah, but now do not listen to Google Maps if you're trying to get to the Newport Aquarium.
No.
No, they've just changed everything. There are roads that's not on Google Maps yet because I went backwards for a block down a one-way road, and you can tell they just did it because you can see where they had just
Painted.
ground up the paintings for turn and this, that, and the
two-way,
other. They took it from a two-way to a one-way, which is they added one or two fucking roundabouts, which I don't
Jesus.
understand. Oh, here's a good one for you. Strawtown Pike's getting closed for the next 90 days
Yeah.
Put
because
it in a roundabout.
37 is getting a roundabout.
Oh, my God.
Why is 37 getting a roundabout?
Right there at the bridge at Strawtown Pike. I think it's right at the bridge.
Showtime
Why-
Pike don't come to the bridge.
No,
it
it
comes
doesn't.
after the bridge.
That's what I'm. Well,
Right, but why would it need a roundabout?
because
Like, do they get that
somebody
much
had-
traffic down there?
Yeah, there's certain times of the day you might have to set for a couple minutes before you can get on the.
So they're going to
Somebody
put a
with some
roundabout
money.
in the middle of a highway?
Yeah. Well, they've got two.
Yeah, that sounds safe.
Have you been?
Right.
Have you been down 32 and 38 where they merge and everything now?
No.
There's two or three of them right there before you get to 37.
Well, what's
Oh,
the one
Jesus.
right there on what is it? The 116th and 69.
That's if you're driving down 69, you can't really notice it until you're looking for it. But if you're not driving, look up when you're going underneath 106th Street. The bridge, it's curved. When you get off on 106th Street, you're going onto a big ass roundabout over the interstate.
Oh, cool.
So the bridge is actually curved, and you can see how the beams are. I mean, it's huge. So
Yeah.
I didn't notice it until he pointed it out.
but yeah,
I'll have to look for that next time.
yeah, the
We
bridge
saw
is
that on the way down to the motorcycle.
yeah.
What was it? Expo.
Expo.
Yeah, where we felt really, really bad.
Why is that?
Well, we took Angie's car, and it's got the handicap placard,
Yeah.
and we were like, all right. So the guys kept waving us through, and I was like, well, the parking's open. And then they put us right up front.
Oh, jeez.
I looked at Brian, and Brian goes, I feel bad. I said, I'll get out with a limp. We're okay.
We're using it tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, I just got to figure out where to park at the convention center.
Good luck.
$20 a day for the whole day at the mall.
Is that the cheapest place?
Sometimes, yes.
Libby was saying that you could.
Well,
walk
that's
tunnels
all right.
to get to it.
Easily. So basically,
fairly
I know
close,
it's bad
ain't it?
for radio, but basically they look like this, but they're 3 times bigger.
That's big.
And they come around, they carry them out one at a time, and they mount them to the wall, like they hang over like it grips onto like the poles or something. And there's 3 of them.
Where's that at?
It's some Mexican restaurant out west. But they're going to start making their way this way because they're popular as hell out there. Because the girls show up in a pack of 12, 15, women's group party night out,
Yeah.
girls night out. So they want to go have drinks, but everybody knows that the Mexican restaurants make the strongest drinks, so they all go there. Well, this one Mexican restaurant just goes, you know what, we're going to do this. And that way, I want a margarita, I want a margarita, I want a margarita. Well, instead of making 12 to 15 different margaritas, they do this, and the girls pour their own, and when they run out, they order another one.
Uno más.
When they run out, they're trashed.
I still say we take that idea and mount them right here.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I didn't see a bottle tonight.
Sorry. I forgot you were doing stuff with the Germans last weekend, so I brought a bottle of the
It was good.
the cranberry last
Yeah, he was
weekend.
listening. Trust me, he was sending me shit that I couldn't say on the radio.
Well, because I've got a couple bottles now that are like at the very bottom of the carboy, so they had like a lot of mother in them. So I put them in like a couple of bottles and just kind of, I didn't really cork them, but I covered the tops of them up.
You fodder getting corked? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, and then like here this week, since they've settled down to where there's like that much sediment in the bottom of the bottle, I'll
Can
pour.
you drain that?
Yeah.
I didn't know
I just-
how you get rid of all the.
I'm telling you, what,
Wasn't-
if you like the cranberry, wait till he gets that dragon's blood up here.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
It's gonna be
my
good.
God.
sorry.
And then I looked to see how much buying frozen bags of strawberries would be, and it's going to be
Strawberry wine.
A little pricey.
17.
On,
Killing
on that
the
note,
worst songs.
on that note, as
we
you're
paying
looking
bills
up
again?
how much that is, we're gonna pay some bills.
Carl's Jr. ain't doing it.
No, Carl's Jr. isn't doing it. What do you think, Bill?
I think Bill's.
He is done. He's gone.
We'll be back.
Strawberry wine.
We'll be back right after these messages.
Bye.
You're listening to the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio with your hosts, Pat Brooks and Bill Maddox. You can find out more by checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GPR The Man Cave. And now, our hosts, Pat and Bill.
Yeah, I'm apologizing to Brian because I forgot he was like out doing stuff last weekend. I brought a couple bottles of something.
If
But,
it'd been the other one, I'd been really mad.
Huh?
I said if it'd been that other one, I'd have been really mad. But
The other one.
yeah, the one that's still brewing.
Oh yeah, it's still bubbling.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to get all of my carboys filled.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you need something, let me know. I can buy.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, look, this one's full. No, not anymore. Oh, look, this
I made
one's
an
full.
investment
Oh, not
in
anymore.
well, no, like
happiness.
We need something else. I don't know. I'm too drunk to drive. I can't go get anything else.
well, probably Monday because I have the sugar and like I said, I got on like Amazon and bought like the powdered ingredients I needed.
Yeah. You said you found it a whole lot cheaper.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just like I'm going to use it.
Yep.
I might as well buy it in bulk and then have it.
Yeah, it doesn't go bad, does it?
No, as long as you keep it dry. I
Yeah.
mean, so it's like, well, now I've got a whole bunch of giant empty glass bottles that I need to put stuff in.
I wish my bottles would have worked. Those would have been cool.
I think they just need a bigger cork. Because the corks I bought originally were number 8s, so they're like skinnier. And the corks I have now are number 9.
Yeah, but the corks that come with actually come out of those bottles. The ones we used, and they leaked. Remember?
No, you don't reuse corks. Because once you put that corkscrew through them, it'll have an air spot.
Well, I mean, the ones we had then, when they were bought, because they were supposedly supposed to fit that. I still have that whole freaking case of bottles.
Well, we might try the new corks I got. Cause
I think you can cuss. We're on delay.
Huh? We don't have a done
No,
button yet.
yeah, I think like the new corks I bought will fit those bottles. Because
Worst case scenario, we could always do the Maker's Mark thing.
Yeah,
Put them in there and then dip them into wax.
yeah.
You remember that just remind you remember the I don't even know if you can buy it anymore, but it come in a can like a paint can, and it was a basically
Plastic dip.
like a rubberized stuff. They said
Yeah, plastic
dip.
dip.
Yeah, dip your screwdriver handles in there to make it.
Yeah,
because
because now guys are buying it to paint their cars.
really,
Or that's what
Oh,
they're
yeah.
using for to paint the sides of aluminum-sided houses.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff.
but yeah,
Actually, they used that stuff that originally. It was made for cement pools. That was the liner. They'd use that.
And then like you said, it came in a can. Pulled the top off, and you could dip like the handles of your pliers and stuff in for like a
to
rubber.
put rubber grip on it.
Right.
Well, now they make it, and now they're making like custom colors. There's a place that actually you can get the plastic dip you can spray on your car,
Oh wow,
and they come in like pearls and metallics and
that's nuts.
like different.
How the hell they get a pearl on that?
I have
Technology.
no idea. Yeah.
We now have the
'Cause-
technology. They can
Well,
build
they
it
got 3D
faster.
printers, so I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, because I mean, I saw a guy painted his S-Class Mercedes. This kind of like purpley blue. I mean, and it was nice, but he's like, well, I drove it for a year and I don't really like this color anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually, there's like something you can spray on it,
And it just dissolves.
and yeah, he just took a pressure washer to it and it came all off.
Well, don't they have that type of paint where you can actually spray it off? You can paint it, and then it sprays off with
You're
high
just thinking
pressure.
Cannonball Run.
I am, but they do actually have that.
Probably, but
I saw it in the movies. It's real.
yeah, I saw it on Facebook.
It was also on. What was the Bruce Willis was the hitman?
Oh, I don't know.
All 9 yards.
Hudson Hawk.
No, he wasn't a hitman in Hudson Hawk. He was the thief. Oh, damn it! He's
Remo
the
Williams?
jackal. Remember, he
Sure
had the
Remo Williams.
Remo Williams. Get that little Chinaman to run across the lake.
No, no. I mean, and he repainted it in this like kind of like gunmetal color, and it looks like a paint job.
I'm still trying to figure out how. I can see how you do metal flake stuff like that. I don't see how you can do the pearl.
You never know.
Some sort of special additive. They put
Some
in
kid
it,
come out of like Kylie's class with a science degree goes, "Look what I can make."
right? So I mean, that's I always thought that was neat. And then not Line X.
I've seen that picture already.
It's just
There's a
baby fever. That is your baby.
there's like not Line X. There's like you can buy a kit to
Night
do
Industry 2000. Sorry.
to do like the bed liner stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it comes in black or white or
Yeah.
tintable.
Yeah.
And the tintable, you go over and get you like a quart of paint, whatever color you want.
And mix them with it.
You mix in with it, and you can just paint a car with it.
Now, is it rough?
Yeah,
just-
yeah, it's a little
It's
rough.
like rubbery.
Like bed
It's
liner?
yeah, it's kind of like hard,
So
rough.
you got traction.
Yeah, but I mean, if you had like an old Jeep or something, you know, it's like, okay, well, I fixed the holes, just paint it with that.
I
Because
wonder what happened if you throw the old lady up on the hood. Would that hurt?
It'd be a little bouncy.
that skin on that, I probably would think it'd be.
We shouldn't be throwing our wives anywhere at our age. Come
What's
on.
that? What's wrong? You know, what's going on with your skin? I was like, oh, is that rug burn? No, truck bed liner burn. Bed liner burn. Liner burn.
Liner burn.
So
They say that type of paint they use for like rhino lining and stuff like that will come
Yeah.
right out of a normal paint sprayer.
I don't see how you'd think you'd have to
it's
have a
way
bigger
too
jet.
thick.
Well, when I was doing maintenance at Red Roof Inn or Motel 6, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
and I had to paint the pool,
Yeah.
they had that stuff that mixed in with the paint. It was that
Yeah.
rubber shit that come right out of the paint sprayer.
Yeah, it probably has a different size, like
Had a
fluid
little
tip.
bigger nozzle,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
still the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's different guns.
Like jet for a carburetor.
yeah,
You can change them out, make them bigger or smaller.
yeah. So
I know it took me half the time that it would have to be to use a
Now,
roller.
kids, carburetors
Right.
are what they had before fuel injection.
yeah, it's not what you have for your bong. Not that kind of carburetor. Carburetor
Just
for
like everything
an
else in
engine.
America, there's at least 3 definitions.
Right.
The right one, the wrong one, and somebody made one up.
Right.
Or the internet one. We'll just go with that one.
Internet
Yeah.
one. It's got to be true. It's on the internet.
Right.
I saw it on the internet. It's true.
Uh,
Oh, it's true. It's true.
it's true. It's true.
I tell my kids that all the time. Just because you read it on there is to do your own research.
Right.
I tell that to Bobby all the time. He goes, I saw it on the internet. I said, oh, that makes it true.
You know,
Right.
you're going to research it on the internet, but a lot of times you'll come up with a couple different explanations.
Hey,
or
Wikipedia
anything.
answers all your questions.
Yeah, Wikipedia is just what people put up there.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
college professor who says, I don't care what reference you use, but if it starts off with wiki, I'm not taking it. So what if it says WikiLeaks? He goes, oh, okay. No. He also got in trouble because he always used dead cats as a what do you call it? Like a
Measurement?
no. He was saying measurement. He was always saying if you need to look up,
dead
some
cats
3
long.
dead cats long.
because
Damn.
if you want to look up something, say you want to look up dead kittens, and the first thing that comes up is don't ever go to the first one. He goes because I can guarantee you it'll start out with a wiki something.
Yeah.
Because you want to go to the third or fourth one down.
Yep.
And I was always like, if you want to look up this, say dead kittens. Really? The dead kitten things again? And he's typed it in so much, his computer actually pulls it up automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he did that until somebody in our class complained because they were offended by the term dead kittens.
People are just... What's offensive about it?
It's a dead kitten.
I'm offended that they're offended.
Right.
I'm offended. It doesn't count. It doesn't work that way. I tried that.
It should. If them being offended has any weight, then me being offended at them should have weight. It's only fair.
I refuse your reality and substitute my own.
I'm
Exactly.
offended by the guys with their damn pants hanging down halfway down their fucking thighs. But
Well, did you notice that
that's gonna change.
some of the towns are starting to pass laws? It's a $50 fine.
Yeah, but you got to enforce it.
Well, that's the thing is you can make laws all day long. You have to enforce what's already on
Seattle
the
just
books.
posted a law
Exactly.
that
unless it's a gun law, then you just make more.
right.
Right.
And then don't worry about enforcing those because
They'll just make more.
they just magically it'll work, right?
Right. Well, they said
Worked
this-
with drugs, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no drugs on the road, streets
Well,
anymore.
that too.
Well, if you can't buy a gun in the store, then people will quit buying them. I can't buy meth in a store.
Look,
Can't buy heroin in
if
a
we
store.
get rid of all
I
the
can
guns,
buy the stuff to make
the criminals
meth in a
will stop
store.
robbing us.
Right. I mean,
like you
just
said.
look
Well,
how
like-
how peaceful Chicago is.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I have plenty of swords. I'm going to start carrying a sword with me everywhere I go.
Actually,
it's-
We was
technically,
talking about it at home.
you can
and we was
carry
actually,
that.
It's technically an arm.
all of us was talking about that one night.
What if you
Gun
took an
laws,
arm
this, that, and the other. I said, girls, I said, they've already got a background check. I said,
Yeah.
it's proven fact that 78% or over 70% of the states and stuff are not reporting
The shit they need to.
crimes and mental illnesses and stuff like that.
That have to do-
I said the best example is the Texas school church shooting should have never happened
he should have known. He was a
because the
prohibited
own
possessor.
United States Navy did not report to the database.
Yep.
Yep.
So
He was a prohibited possessor, and he had one anyway. But he was killed. He was
so
stopped by a
Florida.
baby killer.
he
You know, NRA member.
the database
trained
didn't say he
member.
was a.
Right.
The database said he was fine
Yeah.
because the Navy never reported it
Well,
to the database.
they finally passed that fixed NICS bill, so that's cool. They're going to start. They're forcing states now to report.
Well, I mean, stuff like that, you need to hold the reporting parties accountable.
No. Government doesn't believe in accountability unless it's our fault.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, there's, like, okay. On YouTube, all right? Have you guys ever watched Louder with Crowder?
I seen a couple.
No,
things
I know
with
what
him.
it is though.
All right? He actually, went to a gun show here in Indiana.
Mhm.
Right outside, he was, in...
It was around Gary, wasn't it? I remember
Hammond or something like that.
Hammond. Yeah,
And
they were talking about this on Dana Lab.
he was like, well, I'd like to purchase this. We're like, well, we need CID. He's like, well, okay, And they're like, well, you don't live in this state, so we can't sell you a handgun. He's like, well, I wanted to use the gun show loophole that Obama was talking about. Can't I use the gun show loophole and buy this weapon now and just walk out with it? They're like, no,
That's not how this works.
that's not how it works. You have to do a background check.
The only actual loophole that exists is if it doesn't come back within 3 days,
Yeah, Mick posted that. I seen that.
it can be sold as whatever, and only a handful of them, out of 100 or 700 or 300 and some odd thousand people who fell into that loophole, only 2,000 have been found to not be able to actually possess the firearm.
Yeah.
So it's when you're looking at 80% or 90% have that fall into that section, and then only
Yeah,
2% of that.
I've been told to wait before.
Yeah.
I was told
Alright.
that when I bought the lower for Libby's AR, the guy has the number he calls automatically,
Yeah.
runs my ID. Now, if they can't come back within an hour, they can't sell. They can't sell it, because if it is, they take their FFL license and tear it up in front of them.
Yeah, but like he's saying, there was a loophole if there's no response within 3 days from, I think it's the FBI database on that one or something. I can't remember.
I think it's state.
But if
that's the
if they don't respond within
NCIC
3 days,
or
Yeah,
whatever.
Nick's. NCIC.
but they say the majority of them respond, like you said, within an hour.
it's not even that, man.
It's almost instantaneous.
It was the
response.
1500, and there was probably 300,000 people there when we were there. Everybody was calling him, and he got an answer right away.
Yeah.
Because they don't run a full background check when you register that lower or a firearm. They just want to make sure that you're not. They run your back. What is it? A quick check or something like that?
Well, I mean, it's the same check everywhere.
Yeah.
They call the number. They give them the info.
Make sure I'm
They'll
not
say
wanted on
yes,
warrant.
no, or wait.
Yeah.
Right then, boom.
I mean, he called, and it was like, Patrick Brooks, blah, 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 Alexandria, blah, blah, blah. Social security number right? Yeah. Address right? No, it's this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you. All right. It's yours.
yeah.
It's that quick.
Well,
'Cause
basically
NCIC pulls up within like 0.3 seconds?
All right, all they have to do is plug that thing in there, and the program itself will flag anything, and will show it on the screen. So
Well,
it's like,
if
will
you're,
this yada yada yada? Okay,
if you remember,
you're good.
Yeah, but
Mandy,
this goes back
Mick's
to the
wife,
reporting because,
got denied when she just got out of boot.
Oh, okay.
if people ain't reporting to that database, then
Yeah, Brian's
How do
right.
you
They
know?
said that 78% of the states were not reporting over 84% of their crimes.
hell, their own government wasn't. The people who wrote the damn law wasn't.
I know there's a lot of percentages there, but they said 78% of the states were not reporting over 84%
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they didn't want to take the time to file it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's their
Oh, my
job.
Right.
You had
Well, it's
one
like Brian
job.
said, the
had
United
one
States
job.
Navy
You had
didn't even
one
want to
job.
do it.
Just make it one guy.
The
You have
FBI
one
didn't
job.
want to do it. If the FBI and the state government is not going to do it, or the national government,
Or the guy in Parkland. How many times they go to his house?
too many, 9,
How many times was he kicked out of school?
Teachers
3.
even said had warned. It wasn't that was a total failure on
His own
everybody's
family.
part.
He should have been Baker acted, but the sheriff didn't want to do his job.
No, because he wanted to make. He knew what was going to happen, and he wanted to make it.
He was outgunned by a 19-year-old.
No, he knew what was going to happen, and he wanted to make a point.
Ugh, people like that make me sick.
I guess the one girl, like I said, don't quote me on this thing because it's another Facebook thing. The girl with the shaved head
The lesbian? Yeah.
admitted to bullying him, starting in middle school.
That's fake.
Was it fake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she did say that
She did say she picked on him, but it wasn't considered bullying.
Well,
Bully.
What's
Because
how is
she's a
picking on
woman.
and bullying? What's the
Because
difference?
bullying now has to be a demonstration of like pushing around, constantly picking, and then she was just what was it they said?
she was part
Like,
of the
hey
group
Brian, you're an asshole.
that
I'll see you tomorrow, kind of stuff.
ostracized,
Oh, thank you.
belittled, and just generally made things
Be littler than what? Oh, sorry.
What you would in a workplace, what you would call
Harassment.
harassment and bullying.
or now they call it.
Playing around.
No. They actually have a term for that. Hostile work environment.
Yeah.
Beating
I mean,
the
if you
shit
go
out of
every
somebody?
day, if you go every day to school, and people are calling you, say, hey asshole, hey yada yada yada, ostracizing you, making pretty much you sit by yourself. Even the students and the teachers and whatnot don't engage with you because you're the weird kid.
That's why we took Bobby out of Ellick.
I mean, in my day, that's bullying.
Yeah.
I mean, you can change the definition.
Well, they changed the definition because they couldn't. They come up with all these bullshit anti-bullying policies
And then couldn't enforce the
and
damn one
couldn't
of them.
enforce it. So we'll just
Right.
we'll change the fucking definition.
Okay, we have a question.
Yes.
There's a listener who says he thought the loophole was the person-to-person sales, not the 4473 that you have to fill out.
You can do person-to-person sales.
But he thought that was the loophole.
Well, you can't do a person-to-person at a gun show. If
Yeah, you
you're
have to do
set
it
up at a gun
outside.
show, that
Right,
has
it'd be
to
like
happen
you
in-
walking in and me walking out, and you're like, hey, that's pretty nice. Well, I want to sell it, and then you sell it right there.
Exactly. But if you are a responsible gun owner, all right, because if you look it online at like Arms List or whatever, there's tons of guns for sale.
Oh, God, yeah.
A whole bunch here in the state. But if you look,
Sorry.
at those listings, most of those listings will say valid ID and
Go
permit required to buy it.
Right.
I mean,
Because if you
even
pass
though-
the permit, then
Did the law go through about no cost concealed carry permit?
No.
No,
No.
they're supposed to solve that in the special session.
Yeah.
If that goes through, I'm applying for it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Because I paid $125.
right. But
I told my Angie to do the same thing. She's applying for it.
any responsible,
Well, even if you
gun
never
owner,
carry, if it's lifetime free.
like me,
It's not lifetime free.
if I sold one of my weapons, I sold it to a gun store or somebody that had their ID that matched their carry permit. Because I knew at that point, if they've passed the background check for a carry permit, that's kind of like, okay.
Well, I sold a gun to an individual, and we actually went through the thing to have the ownership name changed.
Yeah.
But it didn't go through because it was just about 4 or 5 years ago, and I sold this gun to him years ago, and it got stolen out of his car.
Yeah.
Well, it was found about 5 years ago.
Really?
It had been, and they contacted me because I was the last known owner. And I told the sheriff, I sold it to this guy, and I said, we changed it. I said, I'm surprised you're calling me because we actually changed the ownership name. And I told him the guy's name, and I got a hold of him, and, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
He said, but I can't remember where they found it, but the guy I sold it to just had telling me, there's a police report where it was stolen from my car, and this, that, and the other. And
Yeah.
but they actually, I hadn't owned the thing for 15, 20 years, and they called me up and said, hey, we found your, and it traced back to you.
And by the way, technically, if you walk out of a gun shop or a gun shop, a gun show or whatever, and you went through all the steps there, and walk out and somebody goes, "Hey, I like that," and you sell it there. Technically,
it's a straw purchase.
Yeah, it becomes a straw purchase, and that's illegal anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is no loophole. It's closed.
Yeah. But like I've went down and had a sign on my backpack saying, I have something for sale. And it's like, sometimes dealers would be like, oh, hey, what you got, blah, blah, blah. And that's, I guess that kind of gets funny because, it's like, well, I just didn't just buy this inside.
Right.
I've owned this for 3 or 4 years.
But there's proof that you owned it for they ran a check on you, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you literally ran a check here and then walked outside and there's proof that you just bought it in there and walked out and got cash for it outside.
Yeah.
Which, if all they have to do is, I could go up to the police department and say, "Hey, I'll go do this, and you can bust people all you want, but I get to keep what I keep."
Yeah. No,
because if I'm going to go to the gun show and I buy something, I'm buying something because I want it. I'm not going to walk outside and some guy go, "Hey, I'll give you, twice what you paid for that." No,
well, they got a whole bunch of them still in there.
Okay, we were wrong.
What?
The Indiana House voted 70-20 on a bill to remove the fee for a lifetime carry permit and increase the 4-year handgun carry permit to 5 years.
Yeah, but has it been passed by both and signed by the
The
governor?
House also unanimously passed a bill that would require the Indiana Finance Authority to only allow to enter into public-private partnerships with groups that have completed similar work in Indiana. Whatever the hell that means.
I don't think it has anything to do with what you just said.
No.
Actually, it's the same sentence. So the House voted it, and
I don't think it was signed. The thing that I saw said it hadn't been, that it wasn't signed.
No,
So
the House did not pass it because
that's what
they
they
ran out of time.
Yeah, they was complaining about that one because it was one of them.
well, it would have been passed had they not gutted the original bill for and then
Wow.
They had 3 bills
See,
in the sign for
The bill doesn't go into effect
CBD
until
oil?
2019.
yeah. They had 2 or 3 bills.
yeah they gutted the CBD oil.
They
the one
didn't
that
gut it,
passed.
They just had another one that.
Well, I said the one
they
that
had two
passed
going-
everything through the the thing. I was reading a thing like where they
Yeah, they
literally
gutted
like
that.
it doesn't say anything about CBD oil. Now it has the permit, the gun permit stuff.
Yeah, I was reading about
Yeah.
that because they had two going through CBD oil, and they knew they was both going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they took the first one that passed because they knew the second one passed too, and carry on. There's a name for what they do. I can't remember what it is, but
I see that's
it's sort of a back door to get a law through without having to get.
Go
Yeah.
back through all of the
Yeah.
committees.
see
and whatnot.
that's one of those things that I don't think they should be able to do.
I was going to say it's actually a bullshit law if you ask me.
All right, what it is, it's like, okay, I'm presenting this.
And
Well,
it-
you either vote on it, yes or no.
Right, so like it
There's
goes through
no-
committee and like, okay, well, what we'll do
Well,
is
what
we'll
about it?
gut everything out and then put what we want in, and it's already went through committee. HR resolution 305.
Yeah.
It's already passed, but we're going to totally change it now. That
Well,
Yeah.
did you guys know that last year the state of Indiana made $4.9 million off of permits?
I believe it.
And not a one of them went to roads.
Well, that doesn't go to roads.
I know, but
The roads come
Something
from
needs to go to roads.
gasoline and
That actually goes to like law enforcement training and things like that.
anything that goes over 1.1 million goes towards the operational cost of Indiana State Police Records Division.
See, another thing that's wrong is that new budget that went through, the
The
6-month budget.
the $1.9 trillion or something
yeah,
like that.
you know how big that was? 2,000 pages. You know how long they had to read it?
24 hours.
2 days. 48.
Yeah, they said that you couldn't, even if you was a speed reader,
There's no way you could make it through.
you'd have to read 200 pages an hour to read it by the
What-
time the vote passed.
what they have though is you have a room full of people who read this section. The next person reads this section. The next person reads this section.
Well, Rand Paul said that him and his staff stayed up all night and only read 200 pages of 2,000.
That's because
They only
Well, then
go-
they need to come down here and employ my wife because she'll get through 300 pages in about 6 hours.
if
and
she
see-
likes it.
and what I don't and
Even in
they
stuff she
word
doesn't
that
like.
shit, right? And
It's
they
all legal jargon, so it's
it's
Yeah.
like they word
the person
it to
of the
where-
person in the first party has to agree with
Yeah,
this person
why-
of the person of the third party.
Why are you writing things to where it just shows
I'm not
me
sure
that
on this one, but I'm pretty sure we just sent $1 million to Oregon to figure out if beavers fuck underwater. You know?
it's
No,
like,
page 27 says they don't.
right?
Stop
It's
bringing
like,
that up.
That's what kills me is like, I think, me personally, in my humble opinion, that once you present something, it should go through as presented.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to like modify the wording, if it goes to a committee and they're like, well, this isn't worded quite right or
What
whatever.
is the definition of is?
What is.
Right? Okay. If they want to change the wording of that, fine.
I'm
But
sorry, you put the wrong there. You have to change the whole bill.
yeah. But it's like, okay, you want to change the wording around to make it like more copacetic with our our Bill of Rights or whatever. Yeah, okay, great. All right. But I'm trying to get this passed where, for example, all school buses have to stop at railroad tracks and check for trains. Well, I don't want you to tack on.
Don't add any riders to it.
Yeah.
That
don't.
should not be allowed.
No.
Oh, my God.
All right. And it's
Well,
like,
everybody wants the school buses to stop, so they'll vote okay. I'll just tack this thing on here that says, I get an omnibus bill that says, we're going to turn around and pay me $37,000 to do a study about, mongooses mating in the wild in Indiana.
yeah, exactly.
Why aren't
All right,
there any
so-
Siberian tigers in Antarctica?
Yeah.
Sounds stupid.
Well, did you see that one guy basically
Well, because
got,
it's not Siberia.
he got $1 million to
Pretty
watch
self-explanatory.
birds, how they mate during migrating season?
Yeah.
Had to do no proof. They had to show no proof for his findings.
So I mean, that's ridiculous. All right, that and I don't think lobbying should be allowed. It's like I don't think large corporations that have huge tracts of land and should be able to be like, oh well, we're going to give you part of our tracts of land, to, influence this. It's like, well, I don't think that's.
Well, see that's what's funny about it is that is a double-edged sword because you have people on both sides lobbying. You have people saying going back to the gun thing, you have the Bloomberg people who are spending billions of dollars to try to push the anti-gun agenda. Then you have NRA who's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars doing the same. And then you turn around and like, hey, so you're doing this in the sense of like, no, we need this,
Yeah.
Basically, they take people to lunch and go, by the way, do you know 97% of your constituents have carry permits? And that's really all they have to say, is like, so they take somebody out to lunch and go, oh, here's the statistics on your district.
Yeah.
Remember that when you vote.
Or like, the other thing
I don't know if it really matters anymore because they still can't figure out why people voted for Trump. He's not a politician. I pretty much, I'm not college educated, but I figured that one out.
Right?
Right.
I was saying that when Perot ran. I was like, we need to get a businessman in office.
Found a new shirt.
What's that?
It says, "Dear fat girl, don't be afraid to get on top." Hashtag, if he dies, he dies.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so you got all this money coming in either way. You have more money for the against than you do pro.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a slippery slope. I mean, I understand that if you said no to any in general, then...
The biggest problem we got is we got people voting on money and spending issues that have no concept of money in the real world now.
What was it, what's her name said, the ex-Speaker of the House, Pelosi, about our $1,000 increase?
Oh, yeah,
$2,000 increase?
Like $4,000 at the end of the year is just a chump change. Yeah. Well, that's like almost my entire house payment for the year.
Yeah.
Right.
That would pay almost pay like I think it's like $2,000 shy of covering my house for the year.
Yeah. Right. That's not chump change.
No.
I mean, I can think of a lot of things I could do with $4,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah. It's like
be partway out of debt.
Yeah, it's like
I could chunk out of it.
When she said 4 years prior that getting an extra $40 on a paycheck is something to everybody.
Significant, yeah.
Well,
it's like, okay, well, let's see, extra $4,000 a year. Well, I could do something like insulate my house better to make it more efficient.
I wouldn't have to get a loan to get my furnace.
Yeah, it's like I can go throughout my house and my outbuildings and everything and upgrade everything to LED technology, so I'm using less electricity.
Right.
Which in turn makes me more money every month because I'm not spending it out.
Yep.
It's like
I said, they're just.
There is
you might as well
definitely
take New York City and Washington D.C. and call them a different nation because they're so
California
out of touch.
and like L.A., San Francisco, like those.
Which is why we are a republic and not a democracy.
That's exactly right. People don't know the difference.
You know what they say? Stupidity runs to the coast. So.
Ain't they the Democratic parties?
Well, just like, was it like, yeah, we have a lot of gun crime in the United States. Okay. But
not as much as Argentina.
Well, but that's the thing, though, is like if you take out certain cities out of that statistic,
we drop a whole lot.
We drop way down there. It's like
Chicago and Detroit, just taking those two, we go from near the top of the list to the middle.
It's like Los Angeles, Chicago, Detroit, and Louisiana. Like
Louisiana?
Yeah, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
All right, and if you look...
In D.C.,
one
of the strictest gun laws, one of the strictest gun laws.
Who runs those cities?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it out loud, but just kind of go
Che
look for
Guevara?
yourself. Yeah, Che Guevara.
That's another thing. It's like, we need to teach history. Period, point blank. That should be a required thing.
Right? They're all like,
do you guys realize that they
freedom.
don't even teach history in school anymore? Pretty
much.
No,
that
I know.
Reminds me. Did you see who passed away this week?
What?
Huh?
John Wilson.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah,
90
I
years
saw
old, though.
that. Yeah.
I'm surprised his
One of the best teachers I had through school.
It's like they're like, oh, freedom, this and that and the other, blah blah blah, wearing a Che Guevara
He's
t-shirt.
like, you know what? He shot homosexuals. He shot anybody of any different color than him. He was American.
Everything.
Like, if you were not, follow the line, he killed you. Period, point blank.
Yeah.
I have Cubans in my family that actually came and left because they were tired of having family members murdered.
Right?
And anytime somebody goes, what? And they're like, oh, and out come the 37 pages of why they are bad
it's
people.
Not really history, but Kaepernick was wearing a Castro shirt, and they talking about football teams that would sign him. And one guy said, well, he won't go to Miami.
No.
And he's like, why is that? Because of the Cuban population. He said the younger ones
don't know.
Don't know anything about it. He said, but the ones that fled Cuba, no. As soon as he put that shirt on, he was done with any chance in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So, kids might not learn history, but a lot of them watch ESPN. That should make them want to, you'd think Castro was that bad? Maybe I need to look into this.
Well, it was Jay-Z was wearing a Che Guevara shirt, and it was like, he would have shot you.
Oh, yeah, Castro.
Yeah.
The minute he saw him.
Yeah,
Biggest
he was
racist you ever seen in your life?
like he would have shot you.
Right?
He
He wouldn't even
didn't care
talk
if you
to
were
you.
Jay-Z. If he knew who you were, he'd still shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You just
What's his brother's name? Raul?
Raul Castro.
Is even worse than
Yeah.
You don't quite get it. I have a whole bunch.
I'm just wondering how much the teachers' hands are tied now, really, on what they can and can't teach.
See, I think that's something that you need to teach.
It
Right.
is.
Like, period, point blank. Like, not that, people rose up and brought down a corrupt government. Yeah, they did. That, the Batista government was really corrupt. I mean, the mafia had their hands in Havana, like freaking crazy. But what came in was the pendulum swinging this so opposite direction.
Yeah.
That you lost everything. What went from we were poor because he keeps funneling money away and putting all this stuff to we are poor because everything goes to the state isn't very much different than the Batista's government. Reason. Yeah.
I don't know.
How's this new government affected you? We got a new government? Hell, I couldn't tell.
Right.
Well, the one guy
other
when they
than
were
that,
doing
I can't get anything new.
Yeah.
What was it when they were having the re-election? The one guy was out there protesting against Castro and blah blah blah, and had a shirt that said he wants the democracy and everything. He disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happens.
That's the reason why they don't have a whole lot of internet down there.
Yep. Google limits their searches in China, or they wouldn't be allowed in China.
Yeah. And so it's called KIDFOS. KIDFOS. Keep in the dark, feed only shit.
Yeah, pretty much. State-run government or state-run internet. Yeah, you're only going to get what they want you to get.
Right? KIDFOS. Keep them in
But,
the dark, feed them only shit.
Topic change though. Did you guys hear about the new Russian ICBM?
The supersonic one?
The Satan 2. Supposed to be carries up to 15
Our
warheads.
lasers in the outer space will take care of it.
Lasers.
Star Wars Reagan program.
We got sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their
Right?
head.
Fucking Sharknado with laser beams. We'll take care of that shit real quick. What is it?
There's also a lot of a lot of dead air going on.
Well, I'm just they're saying that what's his face? I want to say Stalin, but that's not it.
Putin.
Mr. Putin said that it's uninterceptable.
I doubt that.
Well, if it goes at a certain speed, yeah, we can't catch it, but we can head
Well,
it
no,
off.
it was like you don't. Ballistics dictate that you don't have to actually catch something.
Yeah, you just have to run interference with it.
Put it like boom. Oh look, we took it out.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well,
A
it's
plane. It's like, okay, I'm flying on his flight path. ICBMs don't deviate. It's not like I can go course correction, yada yada yada.
yeah, exactly.
Then he goes, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah,
He's gonna die,
sitting up
but he saved everybody.
The government trains that.
How about like unmanned stuff?
Right,
Yeah,
throw a
the,
drone
Reapers,
in.
the Reaper drones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they got two drones over at Right Pat now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's
they're hanging from the ceiling. I looked up and I was like, "There's my remote control plane I want."
Yeah. Did they have sky blue or whatever they call the jet blue? Like one of the very first designs they had of like the
drone.
No, it was like the very like initial design of stealth technology. The plane was like kind of like a crazy periwinkle powdery blue color.
I don't know if
Great, you said periwinkle, so now in my head they're like, she's supposed to the periwinkle blue.
If you say periwinkle, you have to say
they had an SR-71.
Yeah.
And that was...
Those things are bad.
And then we got to another part, and I was like, they've got two of them, and I started reading that second one. It was a predecessor to SR-71. Looked damn near just like it.
Well, they're coming out with the SR-72 or 80, yeah, it's 82, 72, something like that.
I don't know.
We have an update on the loophole.
Okay.
Our gun nut, Mr. Woodsides and Mr. White, says, if delayed, FBI has 7 days to determine yes or no. If they have not responded after 7 days, customer is allowed to take possession of the firearm. If
That's
the FBI later denied of the purchase, they contact the FFL and the person who purchased the firearm. It has to be returned to the FFL or the FBI will go after the person denied the purchase.
Cool.
So the seller is not held responsible in that case.
Well, it goes after if you buy it from the gun store and the gun store tries to get it back and you're like, no, I bought it, it's mine, you can't touch it.
Yeah.
Then the FBI will come and knock on your door.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, though, is the seller is still not held responsible because
the seller
he waited the amount of time.
Yeah, they have to make the attempt to retrieve it, which usually means, excuse me, Mr. Humphreys, this is so-and-so gun store, we need to get the gun back.
Yeah.
Click, hello.
Okay.
Then you contact the FBI, and the FBI comes and knocks on your door and gets the gun.
Okay.
And you probably lose your money.
Yeah.
Right.
At that point.
Oh, man, I can't remember.
I don't know too many people that if there's a mistake, if I bought a gun and then for some stupid reason got denied, and they're going to call me back and say, hey, we made a mistake, you got denied, this is the steps you have to take, but you have to return the gun, I'd go give it back and get my money back.
Yeah, right. As long as you give me my money back, okay, I've got no problem with that.
And then try again or find out what happened.
Why you got denied, and then figure out how to...
Which is weird, because if you get denied, they won't tell you. It just says denied. Mm-hmm. You have to actually call the damn place and find out.
But
in 7 to 10 days, you'll receive a letter in the mail.
Yeah, everything I've been... whatever, they go through and say, well, if you're denied, you call this number, yada, 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 and you can find out why.
And they may or may not tell you.
But the funny thing is because there is due process. There is a lot of people. There are people who went and got their things squared away, taking care of erroneous thing, whatever that crept up, and they've got them taken off. And
well, we all have.
Now, is it any felony that gets you disqualified, or is it a violent
felony?
Any felony.
Is it any felony? Oh yeah,
any
felony.
And certain misdemeanors.
Like violent
domestic violence.
Yep. Yeah, domestic violence.
Is drunk driver a felony, or is that a misdemeanor?
Depends on how many you have.
But
it's one of those that steps up.
I mean, we all have a friend whose wife was in the military, got out, applied for her license, denied.
Mm-hmm.
Which is no. If you served in the military, it's automatic.
Not anymore. Not with what...
this was like 10 years ago, though.
But that's one of the things that Trump rolled back was the whole mental health that they keep pointing to. That it was, everybody points to the fact that it was if somebody can't manage their money, then that gets counted against them, whatever. That was only part of it. The other part of it was starting to kick back vets who had any health issues.
Really?
Saying that they couldn't have, under the if it was reported, the VA had to report, if they were having PTSD issues, if they were having, even know how
Bell is coming to Right Path.
That's it, the Memphis Bell.
Yes.
No matter how little the effects are, like if it's just something like you're having bad nightmares, yada yada yada, any effects, we're kicking people back, saying with denies. So they were basically saying anybody over any senior citizens or vets, and that was what was ended up being targeted with those regulations, and that's what got rolled back. So now everybody's like, oh no, they did that. No, it was because people who were perfectly healthy were getting denied their rights, even though half of them, even though half of them. Oh no, if you say say you're a vet, and you go, I am having bad nightmares.
That automatically gets you.
That got you on the list to
you're on the denied list.
Yeah. I'm having issues with loud noises. I can't stand around to be. It affects me to be around fireworks displays.
Yeah. Large crowds of people, or someone touching me on the shoulder. Yeah.
Guess what? Those are flags. Boom. You no more. You're no longer eligible for to carry a gun.
These rules made up by people who have no clue what the hell's. I'm not saying I'm an expert. Would be an expert, anything like that. But these rules are being made up by.
And that's what got overturned. That's what got turned around, because those rules were so blanket.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to argue that a RFRA law can be interpreted in any such way that would make it discriminatory, but that bill or not even that bill, that executive order is can't be interpreted to take veterans' guns away or senior citizens' guns away.
Yeah, you've already got age discrimination and all kinds of stuff right there.
It's like, why would the guys who can die for the right to sit here and complain about stuff, they can't own a firearm when they get home? I think the one person who would be trained to use it,
exactly, yeah,
should be able to freaking have one.
Yep. But
sorry, I didn't mean to take over the.
No, you're fine.
All right. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, asshole.
The Enola Gay is still at the Smithsonian. It's the Memphis Belle that's coming to right, Pat.
The Enola Gay will never leave the Smithsonian.
No.
Yeah. Man, I can't remember.
They still have earlier rendition of Air Force One at Wright Patterson.
They've got them starting with FDR.
Do they?
Yeah.
They've got every plane there up to.
I meant the new. I'm sorry, I meant the newest one. The newest
one is. I think Reagan was the last one to fly on.
Was that Reagan's?
Yeah. But they're
I
pretty
didn't realize
neat.
how many small
Like I
planes.
said, I haven't been there since
government-owned.
like 15 years ago.
Just state to state trips and stuff like that.
I want to take Libby and the kids out there. They probably love that.
And it's real cool. I think the only thing that costs
parking
is food.
And if you want to go into the IMAX theater.
Yeah. Even the wheelchairs are free.
Yeah.
Gotta have a car that'll get there.
It's just the National Museum of the Air Force.
Yeah. I know it is. I couldn't remember if I paid for parking or something. Maybe it was a donation.
There's like a donation box when you walk in. You can. I mean, and now.
Well, what's funny is Grissom.
They have a museum.
It actually costs money to get into Grissom.
You mean the prison? Just commit a felony. You'll go right in.
Right.
You get there for free, and then the food's free,
and
the TV.
Yeah. Hots in a cot, baby.
They got better TV than we got here.
Yeah, they got cable and Skinamax.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Turn on the ESPN.
The ESPN?
The Lakers are playing.
Listen, I don't mind them having TV. That's the electronic babysitter.
I remember the guy that used to have to go. They had a music station there, and they could request what CDs and stuff they wanted.
Yeah.
But it had to be the
clean version.
Radio edits.
Yeah.
It had to be the clean version. They wouldn't.
Yep. Oh, then the thing that because there was like that, and then like the outlet in the wall they could hook their headphones into.
That was it. That's where
they had like the one station where they played the CDs. They could they'll put it on, they'll play the whole album or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there was like Q95, ZPL, 97.1, the country station or whatever, piped into the plug-in in the wall. What was I talking about?
I don't remember.
We was talking about a museum.
Yeah.
No, it's like I remember going when it was just like the one building. and then I went when they were right in the middle of like adding on to it. So it was kind of like it still had some of the stuff. They had just but the Holocaust went up.
The fourth building is what houses the presidential planes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's now full building. We thought it'd just be an hour or so. I think it ended up being 3.5, 4 hours later we was walking out.
Yep. Easy to do because there's just so much to look for and
I
look
really
at.
Just go through and look at everything I wanted to, but I'm over there with
the I forget the name of the plane they have there. Strawberry Bitch.
Yeah.
The B-24D, the Liberator.
Yep.
I like that plane because that's what my grandpa worked on and fixed in the South Pacific.
That was the one plane my kids remember from the first time we went.
Yeah.
Just because of the name.
Well, some of those could come back with like 3/4 of the damn wing missing, and it'd still be flying.
Yeah, it was a flying tank, and
that's
also the plane that convinced my grandfather that when he got back from the war, he would never own a fiberglass boat. It was always riveted aluminum boats.
Yep.
He wouldn't buy anything else because he's like, I saw these planes go out, get shot to hell with anti-aircraft, and fly and bring back.
That's Swiss cheese.
Yeah, and bring back, air crew. Once it got on the ground, it might be a while before they could get it fixed.
But it made it back.
The other thing he told me was, depending on who made the engines, if they were made by Ford, GM, or Chrysler, they would use the whole engine. They'd put it in the plane. They'd run it no problem. But if it was made by like Packard and a couple other places, they wouldn't even put the engine in the plane.
Like, nope.
Because on top of those engines, the reason why you see all those streaks behind the engine is because they used a crap ton of oil. That's just the way they were. They weren't sealed tight. But he's like, if we,
30 seconds.
Are we done?
It's 9:55.
Oh man, it is 10 o'clock. Yeah, I got stuff to do. But all right, well.
Well, no, go finish your thing. I said 30 seconds.
You interrupted him now.
They had giant oil tank reserves on the top.
Yeah.
And that would feed the engine. And as it was used, of course, he's like, if they came from the big three, the engine would survive the whole flight, and they'd have oil left over in the reserve tank. But like some of the Studebaker engines, things like that made the airplane engines, the engine would probably make it there, but on the way back, the engine would seize up because it'd be out of oil. It just consumed so much oil.
Jesus, just walk outside and add oil. God, come on.
You're right. So, what they would...
You, private! Get back out there!
So what they would do is
Time to earn your wings,
they'd
private.
pull off all the parts they needed, like carburetors and this and that and the other parts, and they would smash the engines up and ship them back and tell them they were damaged in transit.
On that note.
Oh, damaged, half price.
We're all damaged.
On that note.
We're getting shipped back. They're making us go home.
Say, hey, everybody, my name's Bill.
I'm Pat.
I'm Mom.
Well, it's the Man Cave. If you're listening, hey, thanks for listening with us. We'll see you next Friday.
And like we tell everybody else, if you got a topic you want us to try to talk about or bullshit through, we'll do it. Just hit us up on the Man Cave page.
Right.
We'll talk about it.
We won't win, but we'll get to it.
We'll see y'all next week.
We'll
Carl
talk
Jr.
about it 2 or 3 times.
Bye.
Bye.